I got something for you.
My address. I can't say it online now. I just went live. Hey, everybody.
That's called email.
Just send it to Lance and Moorhead.
Yeah,
They'll
Lance
figure
and
it out.
Moorhead. They'll get it to me.
There's only one Lance in that entire town.
You know, the name Lance had its had its big heyday right around when I was born, the early 70s. That was like when it was a big deal, and now it's kind of not a big deal. You know. All right, it is Wednesday, July 18th. This is the last time I'll have an Alaboom while my daughter is 10. My daughter turns 11 here on Sunday. She's, but 11, going to be at Gen Con. A lot of big steps for her. So today, during, I am not, this isn't, I like the shark. I like the fact that we have a shark here today. That's awesome. Where'd you get that?
Shark Week, baby. My volunteers gave it to me last year.
I don't see a difference.
Are there any new program? We'll talk about Shark Week in a little bit. I just wanted. This is what I'm putting together today. My new Blood Bowl team. My Warhammer store is starting a whole Blood Bowl league, and I don't want to play Skaven. I wanted to try a Chaos team, so I'm going to put these guys together.
One of my favorite teams all time.
The Chaos Chosen.
Oh God, they're the horn ability. Really, the +1 when you're able to blitz.
Yep.
That really gives you, strength is everything in that game sometimes. And then you have your 3 huge linemen that you kind of plow the road.
And then just have your beastmen runners. I actually have my guy at Forge World. He made sure to bring me a Minotaur, so I'll be able to add the Minotaur to him too. So I have my big guy.
You hate that one moment though when you really need him, and then he goes stupid on you.
Well, yeah, but he's the one big guy that gets the bonus if you actually ask him to do something violent. You get a bonus for the roll. So you have a better chance.
He has horns, and then he has frenzy. So if you end up rolling a push, he hits again.
Which is sweet. I love frenzy because it's just like you follow up. We're all dorkifying out here, but yeah, it's totally cool. But no, I always used to play Skaven because I wanted the cheap, really fast running guys. But I'm gonna do something different this time. I'm gonna go with the Chaos team. I've never done them before, so I'm excited to try them out. Have you played the new Blood Bowl, Rob? I'm assuming you have.
Oh yeah. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, yeah, but they definitely this version they streamlined it out really well. I thought, it's not as clunky as it was back in the day.
Well,
That's a good thing.
It's very much a game that you can plan ahead 10 moves, and if you just don't get that one roll, you have to rethink everything. And I love that about the game. The characters become very personal to you, especially if you have the death zone and you play in a league, because the game really excels in a league.
Yeah, because they grow and and then having a guy get killed on you is just
heart-wrenching.
It's so devastating. You're just like, no, that didn't happen. It's like,
you're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Especially if it's as ignominious or whatever it is. If it's like they did a sprint, they failed. You roll basically they tripped, they fell, they broke their neck. Game over. I'm just like, no, that didn't just happen. But it definitely can happen, if you will. But,
did you get Killzone yet?
You mean like the books or whatever?
No, the game.
No, I don't have Killzone. What is that, like a new thing for Blood Bowl or something?
No, it's the new Warhammer thing. Everybody seemed to have gotten it except for me. So now it's me and you.
Yeah, what is it? I haven't never. I mean, are you talking about Kill Team? Are you talking
Kill
about
Team? Kill Team.
Kill Team. Okay, yeah. Because I thought you were talking about. No, I am not. I'm not cool enough to have gotten a pre thing. Plus, I'm not a big 40K guy, so I wouldn't really care that much about it. But I'm sure the people that are into 40K will really enjoy it and go for it. So anyway, how's everybody been?
I have a grievance.
All right. Well, before agreements, before we have any bad blood, I want to say one thing real quick. I don't normally share a lot of these things. I just kind of keep them to myself. A lot of you know because I've just said, but I am a big believer. I don't care if you are religious or whatever, but I do believe in good positive energy, and I do believe in thinking good and positive thoughts. My 29-year-old niece, she is going to have surgery. She was diagnosed 4 weeks ago with a brain tumor, and she, after all the treatments and everything that they did to determine what it is a malignant tumor that is on her brainstem, and she is going to have surgery tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. to have it removed, and then they're going to determine treatment after that. So she is a mother of 2 young girls, like 3 and 1. She's 29. She's far too young to have this thing happening. She's braver than anybody else in the family, and it's happening to her. So I just, if you believe or whatever, just send some positive thoughts and feelings towards my son, Kadra Meister. Well, Kadra Freilich now because she got married, but. It's tough, and but she's kind of showing us how to be strong, and she's being extremely positive and awesome about it. If you're on the Facebook, you can, if you do a search for Kadra's Good Vibe Tribe, there is a group where people are posting positive messages and things like that. If you want to take it upon yourself to do so, you can definitely join the group. You will be approved. And it stinks, and I don't mean to bring everybody down. I'm not trying to do that at all. But I just, like I said, just I know people always bag on people and say, "Oh, thoughts and prayers, it doesn't do anything." Well, you know what? I think it does. I think I do believe in there being a greater like positivity, greater energy out there that is created by us as beings with souls, and I think that we can have an effect on stuff like that. So I'd appreciate it. And there, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. And I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," everything. Hey, I get it. It's a tragedy. It's horrible, and you don't have to say it. I know everybody feels that way, and I know everybody thinks that. So you don't have to say it. I know it. So there, I'm done.
It's a good thing you don't watch my channel. I mean, that's basically what we do. I mean, we try to help as many people as we can, and we always have people in our thoughts. If you ever listened or read Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan, and how he just talks about humanity and where we need to be and where we're not, it's quite an amazing thing.
No, I haven't, but maybe I should. So anyway, there, I'm done. I'm done talking about stuff that's going to bring people down. My own niece would not be pleased if I was bringing people down about this. So your grievance, sir. Now that I've totally taken...
I no longer have a grievance.
Yep, you kind of ruined it there, buddy.
Yeah, no. You can have grievances.
No, I really no longer have a grievance.
People can still get angry about stuff. It's fine. I'm angry about stuff.
I'm no longer angry about anything.
I have a grievance.
What's your grievance, sir?
Fishermen suck. Fish all the tuna. I can't have anything to eat anymore. It's becoming a problem. I'm very disgusted. Next.
Why don't you just? Isn't this a problem that you can handle yourself? Can't you just like knock the things over? And
besides, I can ram their boat, but it hurts my jaw, my nose.
How old are you, as Mr. Great White Shark? How old are you?
I am 45 years old.
Well, okay. See, at 45, then you've moved on from eating fish. Now you're more of a mammal eater. You need that high content, that blubber.
See, when you get old, you have to kind of chase after the small ones just to stay in shape. But I do enjoy a good seal or two.
Awesome. Just feast on a random bloated whale carcass.
Ah, yes, the whale carcasses.
For like a half a second, because I wasn't looking at the screen, I thought that was Robert Geislinger who was talking.
I can make that happen, actually. I've got one of his hats laying around.
All right. So
Pete, with Shark Week, do you sit around with your families or just you?
Just his
I
hat.
just sit in front of my TV wearing this hat, eating tuna fish.
Are there any shows that are new this time that like you're excited to see? I have no idea.
Every year they do a couple new shows, and then they'll do a few of the better shows from the previous year. But there's always 2 hours every night of original programming, and then a couple hours of repeats. So
I'm having real trouble taking you seriously.
What's wrong? You have something against an endangered species, jackass?
What is what's the big new show this time? I remember like a year ago or whatever it was, like Megalodon and how like it was real and it was
that was more of a comedy thing because it was all fictitious acting crap. This year they actually have a real documentary about the life of the Megalodon, and they also have a couple new great white shark shows, and then they have a lot of hosts of actors that will come in and make celebrity appearances.
Any of them?
Yes.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal is one of them. There's a.
I didn't realize he was a shark aficionado.
No, they had a skit with him calling it Shaq Week, and he thought it was Shaq Week, not Shark Week. The ego of that guy.
Shania Twain too.
Yep, Shania Twain.
Bear versus shark.
Bear versus shark.
Shark versus Gloomhaven.
Ah, yes, the ultimate matchup.
So
Ronda Rousey on cage, is she gonna fight a shark?
Yeah, it's just like when Michael Phelps raced the Great White. It's all CG crap, unfortunately.
So, Mr. Great White, I don't know if you have any. I don't know if I can really turn to you for opinions on these things. But what's your opinion about a recent Kickstarter that got canceled? Due to the possibility.
I circled them. I smelt the blood in the water, and now they're gone. Yes. No, that was unfortunate, but they made some mistakes. They shouldn't have copied the rule books for Massive Darkness. They shouldn't have used Monolith's bio page word for word for their bio. People caught on. The consumer's not as dumb as they used to be. They research and they look for this type of stuff now because Kickstarter has proven that you can't always assume everything is a legitimate business. And I'm happy that the people actually not only found it, but made sure other people knew about it. So it was well broadcast. Everyone started submitting their reports. And again, people spoke and Kickstarter listened. So it was good to see them also take action and pull it down before the last 24 hours locked in those pledges for the people that did not find out about it.
Very good. Do you have an opinion about that at all? Can you speak as a carnivorous fish?
No. I enjoy my tuna one bite at a time. So I just kind of let that go. They got what they deserved. And if they are a legitimate game company and we're planning on putting out a legitimate product, they'll do a better job relaunching it with an original rule book and maybe take the time to hire a translator so that they don't have those excuses for translation issues being why they just copied and pasted already written material.
Very good. Why did the Megalodon go extinct?
Heartburn.
Well, water temperatures forced them into deeper waters where the food supply was short, and they eventually just became extinct. Maybe there could still be one laying around in a trench somewhere, 7,000 feet below the surface.
Well, if that's the case, do you think the transporter could defend us against him?
Yes. Yes, he can. Jason Statham is quite the looker. He'd make a tasty morsel.
All right. Well, very good. So, no, seriously, what was your grievance? Because I actually have a grievance.
Our grievance originally was about hosts that don't show up on time. But you kind of buzzkilled that news.
Well, I guess there's that then.
Yeah, it was not a fun grievance after that one. we really didn't feel like giving you crap at that point.
Correct.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
and don't forget those fishermen jerks.
I was going to couch it in a different way. I was going to say, don't you hate when you go to an appointment and you get there early and they actually check in, they take you back to the room early, but then you sit there for an hour before the person you're waiting to see comes in. That was going to be my grievance.
Oh, I got you. Well, here I am.
But it's not fun to give you crap now.
No, you can give me crap. I'm still the same guy that I am. I just, for those of you wondering, next week will be the Gen Con extravaganza where we'll go through everything. Right? Next week?
Yeah, hopefully we can start that one decently. Because it's going to be long.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on the show to talk about sharks. I have a hot date with a couple lobsters down the street. I'll go get Pete and I'll be right back.
Oh, does that mean Pete's not going to show up for the boom next week because he's watching Sharks?
He'll have it on in the background.
Or maybe he'll DVR it.
True.
I'm excited on some games I saw in the preview. I got to play the General Mills Monster Cereals game.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah, it's a real thing. It's Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berry, Yummy Mummy, and what's the Fruit Brute?
They brought back Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brute, huh?
Yeah, for this game. Actually, I saw Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brute still exist in stores.
They do on special, like on Halloween, they bring them all back.
Yeah, I think some markets have them all the time.
Oh, really? Well, then the jerks that have the Fruit Brute, I'm upset with them. Because Fruit Brute's the bomb. Hey, Rob.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is my dad behind me?
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh, what's he doing here?
He was on time.
On time, and he's watching Shark Week.
Yeah, your preference to glue? Do you like the plastic cement or the super glue?
Funny you should say that. I use
I like that stuff too.
Yeah,
I like the gel. It really. I feel like bread brothers now.
I'll sometimes use plastic glue. It depends on the model. If it has good seams, I'll use the plastic glue. Anyway, you go on.
Speaking of models, here we go. I'm starting a new segment where I'm actually just building model kits and then I'm going to give them away. And if somebody wants to donate to a charity. So our first one is, if anybody remembers that TV show.
I had the toy when I was a kid.
No, I do not.
Yeah,
Space 1999. You don't remember that?
Nope. I remember it.
You were in the water.
The only thing I remember about it, Rob, is that ship. And that's it, because I was too young otherwise.
Well, the whole premise is that they're on Moon Base Alpha, and they have a nuclear explosion. It blows the moon out of orbit, and it just goes through the universe while they're trying to figure out how to get off or back to Earth. And it was a pretty good show. I got this nifty little card in there with it. But the ship was the coolest part of it.
I'm guessing it was right after Star Wars.
It was, I think it was a little bit before Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
Yeah, 76.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, it was before Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers.
Oh God, yeah.
But it was kind of the one that laid the groundwork for those shows, I think.
Well, not only that, but it was made by the same creator that did UFO. Do you remember UFO?
No,
I do remember UFO.
UFO was cool. They had the they had the moon base, they had the underwater submarine that had a ship, and they were blown like these. The aliens were just, of course, evil. They attacked the Earth for no other reason than they wanted to suck up all the resources. Colonel Stryker was a badass.
There was the aliens were just evil. There wasn't any like conflicted, like maybe they're misunderstood. Nope, they're just evil.
Like in Mars Attacks. Well, maybe we misunderstood them.
Yeah. The best part, I love the Mars Attacks when they get the translator and they're carrying it around as they're shooting. Do not run. We come in peace. As they're chasing them down and disintegrating everybody. I thought it was a very young Jack Black is in that movie.
Yeah, he briefly.
Yeah, he gets disintegrated or whatever by the aliens. And that movie was weird. It was like Tim Burton just went out and just got all the actors that he wanted to kill, and then had them in his movie. And he was just like Michael J. Fox and Pierce Brosnan and just all kinds of just and then he just killed them off one by one.
One of my favorite movies, only because my daughter loves it. So,
what, Mars Attacks?
Oh God, yeah.
I just recently rewatched, and I hadn't seen it in a while. I rewatched The Burbs, and my daughter really likes that. It's like it's like weird cult classic Tom Hanks movie from 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
There's another good one.
Oh, just so Bruce Dern, who still looked like he was 1,000 back then, never looked young.
Ever.
No, never looked like a young man ever.
He killed his career, and the way he did that was he did the one thing that you can never do. He shot John Wayne and killed him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. What was the name of that movie? God, I can't remember that movie now. Yeah, but he's the man. He killed John Wayne.
Mm-hmm. And his career just never. He was just always.
John Wayne was asking for it.
The Duke never asked for
it. Being all, John Wayne-y. No, what was I going to say? 31 viewers. What the heck happened there?
It was the shark.
No, seriously, am I reading this correctly? We have 31 people watching us right now?
Yes, we do.
It's my peeps.
It's Rob's people.
Oh, okay, thank you.
It is?
Okay.
It is.
I was just like,
it is.
Good Lord, is this 33? Somebody take a screenshot.
I had to bring some to the show.
Somebody complain about something so we can maybe convince these people to come back and watch it again.
See? Oranites. The Oranites have attacked.
I was gonna make a before and after today, and I ran out of time, so unfortunately we won't have the game show. Dang it! Oh well. So has anybody? Well, here, let's go through this. Has anybody played any new games? We'll just ask that and see if.
No, but I did get Detective in the mail, Song of Ice and Fire in the mail, and what else? I picked up something else earlier in the week. I can't remember what it is, but expansions for Sword and Sorcery.
All right.
I got new both of them.
What is it?
I got Let's Make a Bus Route.
Oh, and I got that new Choose Your Own Adventures thing, House of Danger.
Hey, is that any good?
I haven't played it yet, but it looks good. I flipped through it a little bit, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about picking that up, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. I was walking through Target and saw it, and I was like, yep, this looks cool. It reminded me of those books from back when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like it's at Target.
Yeah, it's weird that it is. I don't know if it's exclusive. I think it is. I think it has the exclusive sticker on it, so only at Target. But it was like in between the books and games. It wasn't even like in one or the other. It was like right at the end cap, right in between.
Is it exclusive? So. I thought I saw it on. I thought I saw. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought I saw Miniature Market had it. I could be wrong though.
No, you may be. It may be.
You mean the Miniature Market?
The Miniature Market.
The Miniature Market.
Matter of fact, I got this from Miniature Market.
Yeah, that's cool.
Destiny Aurora, a really interesting game. It's got some minis in it.
I did a review of that 1,000 years ago. It seems like
he finally got it together and got it out, and he did a nice job at it. But I got him to talk to Steve at Miniature Market, and they finally they're carrying it. It sold right out.
Good.
So good for him.
Good for him, and good for him. There's one thing I don't enjoy about, but like, I sometimes like putting miniatures together, but sometimes like I just like if you have like a miniature that does a really good job of like making sure that all the pieces kind of like click together really well, even if you do have to glue them. That makes me happy, but then every once in a while, like I'll be putting like lizardmen together or something like that, and like they're just like a pain to put together because of the way they handle the Games Workshop handles their like the heads on those, and there's like no real good way, like you know how like if there's that little bit of pressure that you can put on so that you can hold it together with your two hands or two fingers, but if it's something that's just sliding free, it won't. It won't stay for you. I don't know. That stuff bugs me.
When you got to sit there and you got to hold something and you're in a good groove and you're putting things together, and then all of a sudden this one model just slows you up because it's the weirdest thing that they'll have some certain head there that goes there, and you'll go, hey, wait a minute. If they just connected this, it could be done and on to the next thing.
Yeah. What's your thought on the new push to fit stuff that GW seems to be putting out a lot of?
I think it's needed. I really do. I think a lot of people want to play the games. The lore's there, and for people that are not modelers and things like that, I think it's needed. You have to start. You can't be closed-minded about things. You know, you have to look at the person that says, "Hey, I don't have the ability to sit there for hours and put together a skeleton arm by arm, leg by leg."
Yeah,
I think it's important. I think Fantasy Flight got it right with Legion. Very low entry point for putting stuff together. Most of it snap fit with a dab of glue, not sprues, having it all loose. I think for the casual market, that's if it's not pre-assembled, that's the best route you can go. Is just maybe just arm and a leg or arm, leg, and gun that have simple snap tight fits that you can just put a dab of glue on and be ready to roll. If they have to spend more than an hour putting it together, the casual people will already lose interest.
Arm and a leg? You mean how much it costs to buy a model?
It's actually not that bad comparatively to other stuff. Getting into Legion is cheaper than getting into 40K.
I was trying to be funny about like Games Workshop stuff. So.
The funny thing is,
it does stuff, but everybody buys it. You know, I don't know. Yeah, but go ahead. You were saying, Rob?
No, I was saying, they still get that sense of accomplishment that they did something. Like, maybe it's only two pieces for the whole model, but when you get everything together, you go, "Oh, hey, I put this together."
Yeah, I was proud I put my Legion stuff together. I haven't put a model together in 10 years, and I felt good after doing it, but it wasn't that hard either. And I think any casual person could probably put Legion together. Anything of that difficulty level, I think, is great for an introductory war game.
If you say so.
But I'll tell you one thing. I opened up Blood Bowl 2016, and as soon as I saw the sheets of sprues, I closed it back up, and I haven't opened it since. Brand new copy in there. I love Blood Bowl, but I am not going through that. Nope. No, thank you.
Wow.
Aren't we the party killer?
You just, I mean, when I got mine, I was like, I put that crap. That was weird because like I had never. I was putting everything together, and then when I got to the end, I had too few bases. So like I was like, God, did I drop it? Did I put it somewhere? And I was like, I mean, I got my human team together, then I got my orc team together, and I had everything together. And I didn't have the base, and that was my first ever time that I'd ever used. I ever like contacted. I was like, oh, I'll just contact Games Workshop. Well, first I went to like everywhere looking for the base, and like nobody had them because they're the slotted bases, and they just didn't have them. So I actually just called Games Workshop and got a customer service agent. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'll throw like 5 of them in an envelope and I'll send them out to you. Have them in a couple of days." I was like, "Yeah, GW does charge a lot for their stuff, but they have very good customer service. I'll say that."
Ow.
Well, yeah, I mean, for the longest time they were well known for not having the best, but they listened and they heard and whatever. So,
do you think GW's looking more for that entry level player now?
I think they have to if they want to evolve.
You want to survive.
I mean, they've got that. They've got their diehard market. They're not really. That should. I mean, maybe they're focused, but I think that they should be going for the casuals to keep it fresh and give them more longevity. Give their games a longer tail, because the people they've got. The old school people that have been playing it for 20 years. I mean, to sustain in this market, you need to go after the fresh meat.
Yeah, I was curious about that because I was thinking about the war gamers and how they're dying off, and it's not easy to get into that.
Whoa.
I don't know if they're dying off. I think, well, I guess literally they're dying off as some of them are hitting up in age. But
yeah, that's what I meant.
But there are a lot of new war gamers.
I can't wait to watch Rob talk like a pimp.
I mean, over the last 3 or 4 years, even all the new games now that are very entry level, like Rune Wars and Legion. We have Song coming out. You've got the stuff like Guild Ball and stuff, which I mean that may be still a little bit on the intermediate level, but I mean a lot of popularity in a lot of games that are bringing people into the genre.
Well, I'm going to disagree with that, Barry, and I'm going to tell you why. The old guys, the old Kaji guys that are ASL guys and that didn't take time to take advantage of this new renaissance of board gaming, they're the ones that are causing wargaming to hurt a bit. But there is a group that is taking a lot of time to bring those kids in, because you can only play Descent, Legion, and so forth and so on so much where you want to be challenged even more. And GMT, of course, putting out some really great quality games, making the maps boards now, and starting with those entry level games where they can bring people in. And then you got people like Flying Pig Games, Mark Walker. I spent some time at Origins. Matter of fact, after I was done with you, Lance, talking to you, but I went over there, and I've always been a big fan of their stuff. And talking to some of the designers that they have, and they're bringing in, they are trying to bring it down, but keep it historical, so you can take that next step. You're not trying to leap upwards 4 steps. You're just gradually getting to the games, and you're going to lose some people along the way, but they are making it so people can make it accessible. Especially, let's consider board gaming's never been more popular.
True. GMT's, I think, biggest hurdle, though, is that when people look at a box that's full of chits and rules and charts, it's tough for an entry-level person, even if the game is easy enough for them to learn, for them to even want to learn it.
Yeah,
I know. That's why they're cutting down the chits.
Yeah, they have to. I know. I love GMT games now, but when I first started gaming, when the guys would pull out Napoleonic Wars, they pull out games like that size with all the chits and all the charts and all the. I was like, nope, I'll go over here and play this Ticket to Ride game. Looks cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That was always my problem until you shut down with it for a while. And the aesthetics.
One of your problems.
Hey, I got it all over this.
Yeah, we didn't hear what's your grievance, Barry? You may have already said it when we were off air. I won't put you on the spot.
I don't care. 44 days and the mother-in-law's out. Finally.
Wow.
Or the shotgun comes out, one or the other.
Hey, who's the dude in the tie-dye shirt, and what happened to Forrest?
Huh?
The guy looks way too clean cut to be Forrest Bauer that I know.
Gotta get my yearly haircut.
He grew up? Oh.
No, hell no.
Geez, he looks like Doogie Howser now. What the fuck?
Yeah. Whatever that theme music was. Hold on a second.
Here's our chance. Let's talk about Lance.
Let's just talk.
Boy.
Dude, you went for it there, Forrest. Look at you. How much did you cut off? How much was it? Did they did you
Well, let some kids in my class cut it first. I pretty much was like, hey, I gave some responsible kids in the class. I was like, here you go. You want to cut my hair? Because I was like doing my hair, putting it in braids and pigtails and ponytails and all that stuff. So I told them they could cut it as long as they just agreed not to cut it too short. So they went to town on it. And then I got it cut the next day by a stylist. And yeah, I get it short every year, right before the summertime really kicks in.
looking more and more like Nicolas Cage? Just saying.
Or, as Travis was put it, Cameron Diaz.
Oh, I miss Travis.
Ouch.
That's actually tame for Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot worse people who could compare me to. I'm not complaining about Cameron Diaz.
Nope. She was great in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
I think that spider Lance found ate his internet cable.
It could have. It may have eaten him. That thing was gross.
Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So I saw you posted earlier that you had before and afters for Keith.
I do.
I can never get Jibs before and afters.
You what?
I never get Jibs right.
So I was going to do a different mechanism this time too, where Keith would get the first guess, and if he gets it right, he gets a point. But if he chooses to pass it to the next person, and they get it wrong, he gets 2 points.
Oh.
But before and after has never been about points. It's about glory.
True.
All right, so Keith gets it first, and if he gets it right, he gets 1 glory. And if he passes
All right, let's explain the game to Rob so he understands it.
I'll let you explain it.
Is somebody going to talk slow?
Yeah, he always has this standard Marvin Harrison one.
All right, shut up. You're ruining it.
I was right, though.
There's before and after means that like you're gonna have 2 answers, but the middle of the 2 answers is gonna sound the same. So, is if you say, I want to come up with a different one right now in my head if I can actually get it. So, no.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Give me like 3 seconds.
I can give you a quick example.
No, just let me. Because I have one. I just got. Okay, if you said, like, if you said famous martial artist never fought the $6 million man, the answer would be Bruce Lee Majors.
I like Keith's example. He didn't get better.
Do you understand that though, Rob? It's like because it's Bruce Lee and Lee Majors, in the middle is Lee, so it's Bruce Lee Majors. So then, and as before, your name is your buzzer. So you just say your name, and Jim will call on you. However, he's got some weird newfangled thing.
Yeah, Keith. No one can buzz in until Keith has either passed or given an answer.
Yes, and Keith gets to pass it to the person of his choice.
Oh,
What?
Ooh, interesting.
Oh,
but make it so he can't pick the same person over and over again. He's got.
All right.
Let's
All right,
make
Keith. You can't pick the same person over and over again, and the first person you have to pass it to is Forrest.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm gonna nail all these.
So these are a little bit different in that the key is secret identities and side characters. Okay, so also some of them are inanimate objects. Are you ready to go, Keith?
So
Sure.
Barry's one of the clues.
This is number 1. Quick as a flash, I'll use this tool to put together all of my IKEA furniture.
Barry Allen Rich.
Oh,
Yes, Barry Allen Wrench. Very good.
Keith, go.
See, that wasn't that hard. Good job, Keith. Okay, number 2.
He didn't specify that he was going to answer it. He just answered it.
yeah, because I said my name.
He's the de facto.
Oh, okay.
He's the de facto.
You don't get to guess, Rob, until Keith gives up on it. So
Gotcha.
All right.
New weird rules.
All right, Keith, this is just for you now. I'll crawl up the walls to play games about real estate, world domination, and spirits communicating through a board.
Lance.
It's Peter
No, but-
Parker Brothers.
There you go, Keith.
What is this? What is this?
This is just a game for me.
Is this the like Fisher Price my first?
I really hope Keith runs
It's all our work, Lance. It's all our work.
All right.
It's my first initials.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Maybe a crime fighter, maybe a librarian, maybe just a greed is good Wall Street bastard.
Forrest.
Oh, son of a bitch.
That's not the right answer. Try again.
Can you repeat it?
Maybe a crime fighter, maybe a librarian, maybe just a greed is good Wall Street bastard.
No clue.
All right, pass it to someone else.
I'll give it to Rob.
Oh, of course.
Maybe a crime fighter, maybe a librarian, maybe just a greed is good Wall Street bastard.
I'm trying to
Gordon
remember.
Gecko?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the first word though?
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon Gecko.
I'll give
Jim.
it to you. It's
Jim.
actually
Jim.
Barbara Gordon Gecko.
The Oracle.
That girl, the librarian, remember?
That's right.
Okay. Now the ball goes back to Keith.
Keith's got lots of balls.
So Keith
What
picked
would
up 2 points there, right?
Yeah.
One.
Actually, no. We'll give Rob. Rob got it right, so Rob got the point. Nobody else did.
Except
sorry.
for not
I'm sorry.
score.
At least I got
Rob got the glory.
the glory.
All right. What would you call the collection of this Stony Test Pilot's fantasy stories for children?
Big Grimm's Fairy Tales.
That's correct. I bet this wisecracker vigilante is next to die at the midnight hour. I just want you to know that this one, Anthony would get right away.
I don't know the first part, so Lance.
Say it again.
I bet this wisecracking vigilante is the next to die at the midnight hour.
Rob.
Wait.
Forrest.
I mean, I got the first part, but I don't have the second, so I'm done. I'm out.
Who are you passing it to?
Good
I will pass it to Pete.
I'll pass it to Forrest.
Oh, God. Why are you calling me out like that? I'm a pass to Rob.
I'm attracted to your haircut.
Deadpool Watchman?
You're close on Deadpool. What's Deadpool's secret identity? What's his real
Wade
name?
Wilson.
Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson Watchman.
Who did the Midnight Hour?
Oh, God. Kirshner.
I'll give you a hint. His first name was Wilson.
Flip Wilson.
Wade
Wilson.
Wade Wilson
Wade
Pickett.
Wilson Phillips.
Pickett.
Wilson Pickett. Oh, okay. I got into comic mode and I was done.
That's all right. That's okay, because Keith can start us off with this next one.
Go Keith.
You call it punishment. I call it killing Nazis in the best first-person shooter game ever.
Frank Castle Wolfenstein.
That's it.
Ooh, good
How
one.
is that the best first-person shooter ever? I can name like 5 that are better.
It's more the first-person shooter.
Well, that's fine.
First may have been more accurate.
I still say it's the best. I never had more fun in a first-person shooter than Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
Doom?
'cause you cannot.
It's also the last one he played, Lance.
Oh, okay.
All right, just for that, this one's going to Keith.
They're all going to Keith. You can't.
All right, now this one you have to listen to the enunciation. Excuse me, what is the best telekinetic hot dog condiment ever made?
Oh, I know this one.
I'll give it to Pete.
Jean Grey Poupon.
You got it. You can't recognize me when I put on my Smallville glasses, but the college I went to was a riot.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Clark Kent State.
Yep.
That's it. When this Norse physician is done with yard work, he likes to drink his mortal nurse's favorite beer.
Oh, God damn it. My favorite
shit.
freaking superhero.
I forget what his secret identity was.
Son of a doctor something. I forgot his stupid alter ego.
The dang cartoon used to talk about him all the time.
Oh,
Saturday morning cartoon.
I'd pass it to
Now,
Lance.
wait, but listen to the clue. When this Norse physician is done with yard work, he likes to drink his mortal nurse's favorite beer.
Yeah, I'm passing to Lance.
Oh, it was Blake.
You're right. It is Blake.
I got this one.
Go for it, Rob.
Don Blake Foster.
Oh, I know what it is. I got it.
Go ahead, Pete.
It's Jane Foster's beer.
Nope.
It was Don Blake Foster. No?
Donald Blake's girlfriend was Jane Foster. So it's Jane Foster something. I thought it was Foster's beer from Australia. It actually has a shark on it.
Yeah, but it's not called Foster's beer. It's called Foster's Lager. Jane Foster's Lager, man.
He got you on the technicality, Pete.
Yeah.
All right, Pete, well, let's just start this one off. Ready?
No tuna for you.
Whoa. What is this, an expansion to the game? What the hell is Keith's turn?
All right, we're going to go with Keith on this one. This is the easiest one I got. You ready?
Okay.
Classic Green Arrow chess move.
Good. I don't know, Lance.
What? Like it's Oliver Queen. I don't know chess moves. So Oliver Queen to Rook 4.
Oliver Queen's Gambit.
Oh.
All right, this is the last one. You'll all be happy to know this.
Is this one of those? It's like the Johnny Carson Karnak thing. I hold my hand in the last envelope, and everybody's
This is
like,
the
"Yay!"
This is the last envelope. When she's not dating a freelance shutterbug, she's worried about her relative that's got it going on.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Oh, Gwen Stacy's mom.
That's it.
Dang it.
She's got it going on. That's all I got.
Mary Jane was a better.
Mary Jane was better.
Yeah.
And not deader.
Yes.
Oh,
Also not
edgy.
dead. Spoilers.
Yeah, if you read issue 51 of Amazing Spider-Man or haven't read it yet, please stop here. It's only from 1969 or 70.
I thought it was 172, but I may be wrong.
The death of Gwen Stacy? I thought it was earlier than that. Because that
It
happened
was
well before the Punisher, and the
120
Punisher is 129.
121.
It's 121?
121.
Ah, there you go.
There you go.
Poor Gwen. Yeah.
Did the green guy?
Glorious.
Jim, thank you for putting that together, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you,
very much.
Jim.
I suck at those, but I enjoy trying to figure out the second part that I inevitably never know.
They would have been better if I didn't dictate them to my phone on the car ride home.
That's the
Lost in
most Jim
translation.
before and afters I ever got.
To keep win.
He got a lot of glory.
I think we were all glorious.
I think no matter what, we all lose.
I think you're all glorious bastards.
So does Love.
I'm an inglorious bastard.
All right, so is there anybody here that isn't going to Gen Con?
I'm not.
Barry.
Oh yeah, Barry. All right, well.
See, I got that one right too.
Hey, Keith gets another glory.
Is there a Gen Con show tonight, or are we doing that next week?
That's next week.
Next week is the Gen Con extravaganza.
Everyone get
Rob, I
your
hope-
BGG lists
Can
ready.
you make it back next week? We go through every single game that's coming out of Gen Con. We talk about whether or not we think it's any good.
I'm glad that
Let's see what the current count is right now.
it's
I think it was like
481 or
480
something.
last time I looked.
Yeah,
It's a marathon. It's a marathon show, but we also usually Keith MCs it, and he keeps us moving at a brisk pace.
441 titles as of right now, but there's been about 5 to 6 added every day.
But are those being released, or are those being?
We could
I
sort
think-
it by that. I mean, do
Do
you
we
want to
wanna
sort it
run
by
it
only stuff for
by
sale?
and then by demo next week, so we prioritize sale, and then we can just make fun of the stuff that's for demo only.
Yeah.
I may run it that way next week.
Are we going to start early because of the length of this show?
Well,
We can't make it on time regularly. You want to start early?
You don't need Lance. Just fire up the hangout at like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and then go do what you got to do, and we'll get started. And you can jump in when you get here.
Everybody's funny. You don't ever complain, and now it's like, oh, let's all complain about this.
Oh, we complain. It's just you're never there to hear it.
So true.
Hey, Lance, apparently there's something wrong with your camera. The feed can't see your ugly face, but we can.
He broke it.
That would be something right with the stream.
Good point.
Helen and Larissa, make sure you put that into the Discord. That next week is the Gen Con show. Thank you.
What is Discord? Somebody fill me in on that. I feel like an old man.
Do you have like minions to help you, Rob?
Listen.
Like,
Honestly, Forrest, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but thank God I got a couple of girls that are really smart.
it's just
working now, Lance.
third-party chat
It's
software.
working now. Okay, well there we go.
Most people use Discord for like online gaming, to like chat in online gaming, but it's also used for groups, meetups, and stuff.
What was the one before Discord?
Ventrilo has been around. TeamSpeak,
Nope.
those are
TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak.
those are all pretty popular. Discord seems to be the new hotness. Every 2 or 3 years, a new chat service comes around and becomes the new hotness.
Look, I have a puppy.
When I first started, it was Ventrilo, and then TeamSpeak became super popular. Now it's Discord. It'll be something else in 3 years.
Lance,
you know what's
reminded
good
me
about
of
it
something.
Oh, go ahead.
What? What did I? What?
I just got a new puppy.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you did.
We went to vacation. I left my checkbook at home because I was sure I would not get another puppy. And then I found out that breeders take PayPal nowadays. And I got screwed and we got a new puppy. So I now have 2 Newfie puppies. Well, one's a dog, but the other's a puppy.
Well, there you go. You re-upped.
I did indeed. And it turns out that the new puppy is my dog's niece.
Oh wow!
So how's that? Yeah. So it's all in the family.
Just the way you
All right,
like
that's
it.
it. That's my story. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Rob.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
So, Rob, you paint and you put together models and all kinds of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much of the games do you actually play?
I don't paint it unless I play it.
Okay.
And it's a funny thing when you have a channel that you paint. If you put a game out there that isn't painted, it's like you killed somebody. So
Yeah.
So I have to paint it and then we play it.
You gotta start them off with the low expectations, Rob. That's what I do. Jumping the pants on, nobody's gonna say anything.
We're still waiting for him to raise his expectations. It's been 5 years now.
Did you say low or no expectations?
Either one works. Only room is with no expectations. The only way you can go up is up.
Forrest, I know I've asked you this a couple times. When do you get in? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Then Wednesday, probably around noon.
All right.
Lance, when do you get in?
Like 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Wednesday? Who's getting there Tuesday?
Me.
Monday here.
Oh, Pete's there Monday. Pete's there. Oldie and I get in on Tuesday.
I'm here now.
Yeah, you're always there, Jeff, unless you're not. I'm headed up Tuesday, I think, and then for no reason but to walk around.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing to see, really.
Yeah,
We're upgrading our presence this year. I've got one of those fake wood floors, and we've got nicer than T-shirts this year.
Which social deduction game are you showing this year?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Your lips moved, but nothing came out.
That's not funny anymore, Keith.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's always funny. I just won't let him know.
What? So you're putting in a fancy floor this year?
Yes.
You do have great art hanging in the booth. I noticed that at Origins.
Oh,
you
yeah.
show off your art well.
Yeah.
In fact, when I walked by when I missed you, I think it's because I thought it was an art booth. And I'm not saying that to be insulting, but at all. I mean, it's not an insult because the art was good enough that I thought it was an art booth.
Are the dancing girls going to be there this year? Did I offend? What?
My couple things. Number one is she doesn't want to dance on the kind of floor we're going to have. It's not conducive to dancing. Number two is that where we are, there haven't been crowds drawn lately when we've gone down to one dancer, but she doesn't want to do it in a way where if there are people in crowds, she's going to get in trouble for blocking the area.
And the dancer really wouldn't fit the theme that much, would it? Because it's more about the houses and less about like the artists and the music and stuff.
Well, so for Bemuse, she dressed up as the dancer and did the dance as the dancer. So she was going to put together a small skit with one of the other people working for me to go along with the houses, but the other person said, "No, I will kill you if you make me do this." So she said, "Okay, well, we're not going to do it." So instead, she's going to be demoing instead. What did you say?
That's okay. I think you should scrap the women dancers, get a stripper pole, and let Lance dance for you.
Yeah. I'll break my woman.
It's going to be me, Lance, and Pete, all three of us.
Yes. Yes.
Make sure it's titanium and it's welded.
Yeah. Better reinforce that pole.
You can call yourselves the Petey Meats, the Meaty Pete's. There you go, the Meaty Pete's. So
now that I have that knowledge, does anybody need a ticket to Gen Con?
We need you to keep the adoring throngs at bay, Rob. I need to keep the people watching from leaving.
Get back in there.
So I think you asked about booth, Keith. We're in 11:30.
Okay, so that's about 3/4 of the way over or so.
It's actually real. It's right toward the middle of everything. It's just beyond Fantasy Flight.
I haven't looked at a map in a while, so I'm all lost.
There's actually a good spot, Jim. You'll get good foot traffic there.
Actually, I'm kind of slacking. I haven't even planned a route for the exhibit hall for my buying frenzy yet because I don't have a frenzy.
I have actually, unless something really surprises me. My goal is not to buy a single board game when I'm there.
But he'll beg for 50.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Oh, shush! I do not. Oh man.
See
I've
what
got
happens when
one
I actually show up?
I got a gaming related grievance.
Well, go for it.
I was
Your man speak.
Oh wait, oh shit, there's a camera. Okay.
Yeah, you
So-
kind of put it away.
I got what is probably the crappiest looking game I have ever gotten.
That's saying
Called
something.
Tossed Salad Game. Which, by the way, it's a fun game. I want to iterate. It's a fun game, but it's like in this little plastic salad bowl. You open it up. It's an adult party game. Yeah, you got your rules,
Oh god, an adult party game about tossed salads?
and then the rest of it is just these, which are, I kid you not, pieces of printer paper with type on them, like really thin printer paper, making whoopee. That's it. That's the entire game. You could literally recreate this in about 10 minutes with a computer, a printer, and scissors.
So are you actually going to do a video on it?
Oh yeah, of course I will. It's a fun game.
This should
I mean,
be
it's-
one of your shirtless videos. Just saying.
Oh, I actually just did a shirtless video with my son a couple days ago. I don't even remember what the hell we reviewed. Oh yeah, Postcards Across America. Some weird game from like 1994. Yeah, but
Remind me again why we sponsor you.
Because you're drunk.
consistency, baby, consistency.
My older brother often says consistency is a very commonly underappreciated attribute of somebody.
Does he say that consistently?
Yes, he does.
There are so many reviewers that, I mean, they really don't last that long. It's just they expect to just hit it big, like quick. You gotta be able to just do it, and not expect anything.
You know something, that's kind of a grievance I have a bit.
Ooh, Rob.
Hey, Rob, before you go on, I got to tell you, you have one of the nicest voices I've heard in ages.
Look at you. You are now my personal hero. Thank
I've
you.
always aspired to be someone's hero.
Who just got bumped? We got to let them know they just got bumped.
But, you know, Lance and I kind of saw it at Origins, and it was kind of a funny thing. I was at Chip Theory Games booth, and I'm somebody that always pays for my stuff, because in case I don't like it or something like that, you know, I would really feel guilty if somebody gave me a game. Now, do I accept the free games? Of course I do. But the one thing that I really noticed a lot is now if you make a T-shirt and you print out a business card, everybody wants a free game. I mean, it's just there are just so many reviewers out there just trying to, like Forrest just said, hit lightning in a bottle. And I actually thought about this, and I really think that distributors or people that set up their booth, if you have a channel and it's a legitimate channel, the big guys should always get their free games. That's where they're going to get their most publicity. But why not just offer a discount? Say, okay, you got a channel. Thanks for the business card, and you got a cute T-shirt on. How about 20% off? I mean, these guys are out to make money, you know, and that's going to keep the business going. Maybe I'm out of my mind.
You're not out of your mind, but here's the deal. And like I used to like track like who actually came through with the review after I gave stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept good track of it. And like when I would get hit up for another review and like they hadn't done it, I would say, hey, you know, I noticed that we sent you this, and this. Is there any reason why, you know, I didn't see a review from you for those games? You know, and I didn't say it to be a jerk. I just kind of maybe, you know, questioned, you know, as far as, you know, where they were coming from, that kind of thing. And my boss, he's like, well, how much time do you spend doing that? And I was just like, well, you know, I kind of explained the process, and he's like, you do realize, you know, he's like, that's all well and good, and you know, that's fine. I mean, there's like, you know, it's just, he says it's not worth your time. It's not worth your time to track that. It's not, because, yeah, I mean, games cost money, but admittedly, this is for, I guess TMG would be a larger company than some, you know, and definitely smaller than a lot. But you know, it's one of those things where you it's kind of weirdly, and it's kind of the cost of doing business in a weird way. You know, just like, you know that some of these people are going to come through for you, and you know some of them aren't. And I mean, there are these. I'm not going to mention any names, but there are a couple of guys who
Forrest.
No, not Forrest.
Forrest is like the hardest working guy at Gen Con. Jeez.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, remind me to unsubscribe from him before Gen Con.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna say my YouTube goes into overdrive the week after Gen Con.
No, I remember there were a couple of gentlemen, and they had like these very ostentatious shirts on that were very had their channel emblazoned on there, and they came around to our booth, and I don't even remember what game it was. They really wanted to review. They were like, "Oh, we've been looking forward to seeing this game. This game's awesome. We know we're gonna love it." You know, they were just like, "Oh, you know." And then like I got talking to them, and they were both, you know, really energetic about it. And I was like, "All right, you know, let's make sure I get you a copy of this then." And they were like, and I was just, all right, you know, and was there anything else you're excited about? And they're like, well, you know, we always want to try that one out. You know, is that any good? And I was like, yeah. So they had like 2 or 3 games, and they were like, you know, these are gonna be the first ones we play when we get home, and we're gonna make sure that, you know, it's like, we're gonna let you know as soon as those reviews go up. We're gonna have them up, you know, no problem.
6 months later.
No, not never. I never got reviews. I mean, it was like one of those things where it's like, I mean, it was like, and it just. It really stood out. No, I mean, I'm not going to find fault, because I definitely have gotten games where I'm just like, hey, you know, thanks. And I played them, and I was just kind of like, yeah, that was kind of like just another game. And I wasn't all that excited about them. And I never got around to reviewing it, just because it just wasn't my thing. And you know, and that's kind of shitty on my part. And I'll be the first one to admit that I should have actually done something with it. But it's also one of those things where it's like, when I see these couple dudes and they show up and I see that shirt, it definitely sticks in the back of my head. I definitely.
So I want to chime in on this.
Yeah, me too. When Jim's done.
So, you know, I'm in this business as a hobby. I have fun doing this, and I lose money constantly, but it's better than blowing it on shit. So when,
well put.
Thank you. So when people come to me and ask me for stuff and they want to review, I'm happy to help them. You know, I think about the unit cost I'm giving up, and I figure, you know what, I'll help them out. It's okay, as long as they don't feel like I'm being abused against the same people over and over. But what I would like to see, and I don't think it's a lot to ask, is if you are going to do this and get free product from people, put out a post-convention video where all you do is say, hey, here's the stuff I got from people. Thank you. Here's a picture of the game. Here's what it's about. Thank you for giving it to me, and I hope to review it soon. Don't even commit to reviewing it, but at least give me something.
Yeah, it gave you a little.
Just
I'll comment on that. If they don't, it's a terrible idea anyway. Because I do a live Q&A, or just where I unbox everything after I get home. Every year from Gen Con, I've done it. And those things get a lot of hits, because I mean, people are legitimately curious just to see what stuff there is and what's the new stuff. Like, so if they're not doing that, I mean, that's just bad practice anyway.
I do the same thing. Oh, sorry.
Those are the easiest videos to shoot too, right? You just sit in front of a camera, you open up a box, you talk about the game for 10 seconds. You don't even have to know about it. You just say the artist, the publisher, the designer, and then look at the back of the box and give a 5-second interpretation of what you think it is and put it away. I agree. Every show that I don't go to, those are my most favorite videos to watch. Is, oh, cool, I didn't know that was coming out there. That's cool, interesting, and I don't have to sit through a 30-minute review. It's just a 5-10 games in like a 2-minute period, and boom, done.
I do the same thing, Forrest. It's, you know, either most of the time I do it live, But I've taped them. Like the first time I did it, I taped it, and the boxes were like up to my nose, and I'm trying to open up the box and pull out because I spent like my entire convention at the UPS place. I think I spent more shipping at home than
that at every show, Rob.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to live in Indiana, so we just drive it up.
But yeah, when I was running the review portion of Simon's marketing a year and a half ago, I did all the reviewers, and at shows was the single most tedious job that I ever had because there would be guys that would walk up, and I tried to weed out the ones that were pretenders. I would always ask them, "Oh, well, what's your channel?" I'd whip my phone out and it's like, "What's your website? You know, let me take a look at your channel. What do you have a sheet with your statistics?" You know, I'd always ask them, "What's your viewership? How many subscribers? How many hits per month?" If it was a blog or a post, and you could tell the ones that were serious. Some of them would pull out a sheet and, "Hey, here's all my stats." You know, they're professional about it. And then I would immediately be like, all right, cool. Let's go walk around. Let me see what kind of games you're interested in. Then you'd run into those guys who are like, oh, well, I'm just getting started and my site's not up yet and this and that. And that's usually when I just be like, well, here's my business card. When you get a chance, send me your information and I'll be happy to ship something to you once you can provide me with your viewership stats. No one should ever be offended if you want information about someone before you give them free product. So if you're having a problem with these kind of guys, the best thing I can always recommend is, well, you know, just give me some of your statistics. You know, how long have you been doing it? How many views do you have? How many videos do you put out per month? You know, what's your hit rate? What's your retention rate? You know, I mean, little basic questions like that will throw the guys that are just out there looking for games because they don't have that information. The ones that are smart would have it. Most of them don't, and you'll weed them out super quick because if they can't answer those simple questions, then they're not in it for the right reason.
I lead with that, Pete. That's exact. Like after we get done with the interview, I'm like, so this is my channel. 5,000 subscribers, almost 7 years. Like I lead with that.
No, it's smart because that's the easiest way for someone who's running a review program to know right away if you're serious or not. Because if you've taken the time to put that information down and your numbers aren't like 200 people or 50 people, you know, if you've got several thousand, even if it's only a couple thousand, that's okay. Everyone starts out and is small and builds. I mean, I don't care about the numbers as far as it being impressive. I want to know that you know the numbers, and I want to see that, you know, last year you had 1,600. This year you've got 2,200. You're steadily growing, and you're putting out content, and it's just going to be a matter of time before you hit. And I would be much more likely to give that person a game than I would be to someone who just had a fancy shirt and business card but had no information about their channel at all.
So I come by Simon and I say, hey, I'm with Week Alaboom. We are up to teens of viewers now.
Dude, take it all. Just take it all.
See, now I know why I don't get review copies. It was you, Pete. I always knew it was you.
Yeah, it was me. I'm not a supporter of your channel at all.
Not at all.
You just need to start dropping the Alaboom. You'll get more games, Ron.
But it's true. Like I said, the first year I went to Gen Con, I got mobbed, and I talked to my marketing manager afterwards, and he's like, you gave out way too many games. He's like, half of these people will never see a review from. And I took that to heart, and I was like, well, I got to figure out a way to do it better. And then the next year at Gen Con, I cut that in half, and we got a lot more hits off the stuff. You know, it's quality over quantity. And I know some companies will just throw review copies out like they're water. But honestly, it's just if you take the time to do a little bit of research, man, you'll thin out all those guys real quick.
And they take advantage of you because, let's face it, Gen Con is a giant shit show. I mean, it is just full of humans. There are more humanoids than you need. And then you got this guy talking to you when you got 200 people around you.
Yeah, you'll do anything to get them away.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
I have definitely dealt with that. That like, oh, geez, fine.
Just take one game and get the heck out of my booth. Yeah, exactly.
And I have met some very, very awesome people that have review channels that have like almost no following, but they're like super nice and they're generous with their time and they seem to be like very excited about our games and they give very earnest work. But they don't really. Their review channel is just like I'm not going to say it's amateur because it isn't amateur looking, but it isn't their main thing, right? It's I do a video when I have a chance and I don't really care and I actually don't mind giving them videos, giving them games because it's just like, well, that's just That's just good practice, just like, it's like, oh, it's like you seem like a decent human being, and that's not to say there aren't a few people that, like, when I see them coming, like, I'll see them a long ways off, and I just see them approaching with them, like, oh god, just like
yeah, that's the same look you give me.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did anybody see Tyler is hanging up reviewing Bearded Maple?
Who?
Well, he said
he's not bearded anymore.
Yeah, he still.
He said something about, like, he is, yes, but he said something along the lines, I don't even know what it was. It was like, it was really vaguey, I guess is the best way to put it. It was just kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it.
You know, the E is silent at the end of vague, right?
Vague? Very vague.
Vosge.
How would you pronounce it then?
Vosge.
He said vaguey.
I was taking it and making it an adverb. Let's just
don't give Cameron a hard time.
You guys are talking in big words. My head hurts now.
I got to figure out a way to get audio on my website, Rob, so I can get you to just say something on my website.
Dude, I will do it for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude.
Just throw up an MP3 file.
Dude.
I would definitely do it.
Back to the chopper.
Back to the chopper now.
Go! Get out!
On elimination.
If it bleeds, we can.
It is not a tumor.
Look at me. I am gifted.
We will pump you up.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Everybody can do a horrible Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
It's like such a go-to impression. But yes, no. God, I haven't watched Predator in a long time. I gotta watch that. That movie's awesome.
Well, now I know. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, now, Lance, now I know not to go to your booth whatsoever because of my hack site.
No. If you ever need anything from us, just let us know. We'll take care of you.
I'm good.
So I have a question for everybody. What is inside the mysterious black sarcophagus?
What?
Is one they dug up in Egypt, this mysterious black sarcophagus?
That's
a dead person.
Hey, Atari.
I would like to answer that. Fritos and some Diet Mountain Dew.
I like that.
I'm going to guess 1,200 cartridges of ET for Atari.
I just missed that. It's still my guess.
I'm just gonna go with dead people.
Yeah, that was mine.
Can you see the dead people?
Not until they open it.
You open your eyes.
Yeah.
The best thing I read was somebody said if you really want to make sure there's nothing inside, have Geraldo Rivera open it. I watched that when I was a kid, man.
Was that Tut's tomb? Was that Tut's sarcophagus?
Al
Capone's vault.
Oh, Al Capone's vault. That's right.
I love the way he sold it too, because he would go like, "Look, a bottle. We found a bottle.
This could be a bottle that he drank from."
Yeah, and he would go on and on.
But I'll give him credit. At least they touch enough about Al Capone to make the show worth watching when it was a big nothing at the end.
Well, I want to know how did they, like, Al Capone's vaults? It was just kind of like, well, so, like, why did nobody find them before? And like, I don't know.
Why didn't you take a peek first before you did the live?
Yeah.
Well, you can hide shit. They're still looking for Pablo Escobar's stashes.
Was it not on his face?
I thought you had those, Barry.
Yes. I wouldn't be here. It's all American, not pesos.
That show Narcos, that was good. It's
it was
too, I think. Is it still
was that?
Is it still going?
Did 3 seasons, I think. I don't know if they're coming.
The only thing I didn't like about Narcos is that I couldn't have it on as background noise because it was all in Spanish.
Subtitles, yeah.
So you had to watch, So it was like, oh, okay, I can't like have this on while I'm working, that kind of thing. I have to pay attention. Dang it!
Dang it! I just started watching The Wire. I'd never seen that before. It's a pretty good show.
I watched season 1 1,000 years ago, and yeah, but yes, I would agree that was a really, really good show. And like has wonderful like unexpected moments, and yeah. Good show.
Yeah, it did.
Boy, did I see a great brawl this week. My wife was watching 90 Day Fiance, and they confronted.
Time out. What the hell?
Listen. The way we sit, she faces the TV. I face the complete opposite way, looking at my PlayStation. And what I'll do is I'll usually play some videos or something on there. Well, all of a sudden I hear like this huge scuffle, so I got to turn around. Well, let me tell you. I turned around and there was a Pier 6 brawl. It was WWE, and I said, "I'm in."
What show is this?
90 Day Fiance. Now, what they do is they have to marry somebody within 90 days. Okay, so they can get their green card. But half the times, they're not here for good intentions.
No.
Go figure, right? And
what channel? Time out. What channel is this on?
I don't know.
Is this a real thing?
I swear to God, that and the Housewives of Orange County, they like to brawl too.
Well, okay, but I mean, is it like a reality TV show?
Yeah. Yes, and it's glorious.
I can't imagine how this would like fly on TV. I mean, like it seems like it might be kind of questionable as far as like racism or something like that. I mean, am I crazy here?
Oh no! This one girl, she was in Thailand. She meets this guy. This guy has no money, but he promises her the world. So he tells the family that he's going to send them over 15,000 baht, or 50,000 baht, which equals out to $15,000. I may be wrong.
Okay, I'm listening.
Anyways, they come over to America. The guy is the most laziest guy on the face of the earth. He looks like Uncle Fester. Okay, and here he is.
So like Keith right now.
Yes.
No, he makes Keith look like Brad Pitt. And
you guys are making me feel great.
You're welcome.
I mean, there's somebody out there that
makes Keith look good. Yeah.
I'm sorry. His name is Brad.
Wait a minute. I'm getting a text from Pete. Internet now. Oh, okay. So he gets her over, and he's leeching off his best friend. So his wife comes down on him and starts saying, "You give him another dime, I'm going to divorce you." So he goes to him. He goes, "Pal, I can't give you any more money." And you should have seen him. He looked like a puppy dog that just got told that he can't go outside and play ball. Eyes are all sagging. So this girl from the Thailand saying, "Hey, I come to America. This is supposed to be the land of opportunity. I'm living in a firehouse." It's just it's glorious. That's all I can say. It sucked me.
Our countries in the state it is.
Because of this guy?
It's definitely this guy. And I mean, they're just stories after stories. They go, and the people that marry these people, they just, no matter what you say to them, you can't change their minds. You can't listen. This guy's coming over here. All he wants is a green card. No, he loves me. Loves me. I mean, can you guys just get in a car, go down to a bar, and wait long enough? Maybe somebody will find you, or something. A mall, a Build-A-Bear, anything.
The heart. Well, no, Build-A-Bear. The heart wants what the heart wants, right, Pete? right, Rob.
I guess so.
But this is a real show.
Oh, it's a real show. Look it up.
This is like, and these are real people with these. They have these real problems like this.
They're real paid actors.
They are real humanoids.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe any reality TV anymore. I feel like half of it's just actors. It's become wrestling.
Yep.
Whoa.
Let's you don't
piss on his Cheerios.
Don't you start with that wrestling stuff. That stuff's real.
and don't you piss on wrestling either.
Don't you piss on wrestling.
It's not real and it's not fake. It's right in the middle. It's real fake.
It's real fake, all right.
Sports entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It is sports entertainment, and it's glorious.
Lance, they're breaking kayfabe.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. I think they might finally have Lesnar drop the belt, which is it's been way too long. He's had that belt for way too long.
But why to Roman?
Well, it might be Lashley. You never know.
I don't know. We're
I can't
talking
see
way
that.
over their heads.
Yeah, I know, but I can't see them giving it to Lashley. I mean, they just keep trying to shove Roman down our throats, and like, but it isn't.
Man down. We lost Keith.
Yeah, the Smarks aren't the fans that they want to please. They want to please the people that pay $40 for a shirt and stuff like that.
I've got a ton of stuff that I'm sending you that you're just gonna love. It's old school stuff.
Well, I am an old school wrestling guy.
Well, there you go.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, baby. That's where it's at. I don't know if you watch that or not.
Kenny Omega.
Oof. Young Bucks, baby. I got my Young Bucks shirt.
I see the Young Bucks shirt.
Yep.
Kenny Omega, Otana.
Sweet. I like that guy, Evil.
Yes.
The wrestler named Evil. He's so good. Yes, there's a wrestler named Evil. That's his name. But anyway.
I almost bought you a present for Gen Con on Prime Day yesterday because I saw a Cactus Jack shirt on Prime Day.
Bang bang. Cactus Jack, baby. Yeah. Good old Mick.
Boy, he was something else.
Well, he could get hurt with the best of them.
Now he can't even walk.
He can barely walk, which is unfortunate because he was obviously he was one. The guy couldn't really wrestle either. I mean, like he had such a limited move set, but he could brawl with the best of them, and he took a good bump. He would be willing to bump for anybody. So.
And he loved barbed wire.
Yes. I will say this: if there's probably not a lot of people that like, if you don't like wrestling, that's fine. It's a desired, it's an acquired taste kind of thing. But the Mick Foley book, "Have a Nice Day," where it's his autobiography that he wrote himself. Like, he didn't have a guy come in and they tried to have a ghostwriter come in and handle it for him, but like the guy started writing kind of like romanticized stories about his life, and then he just said they fired him, and then he just started writing it out longhand. And
both of his books are fantastic, not just the first one.
I read them both.
Yeah, they're both
but
great.
But the first one, "Have a Nice Day," is definitely
really good. Yes,
it is so good. Talking about being at wrestling on the indies and how, like, he basically quit. He was actually making decent money being a jobber in the WWF, but like he realized that like people were starting to recognize him and realize who he was, and he said that if he stayed, he knew that he would never make it big, because he would always be the jobber. He would never be big. So he left and went over. That's what he.
He went to Turner.
Yeah. But also he went to Japan. That's like one of the
yeah.
first times he went to Japan and started wrestling in death matches over there. And
yeah,
did you ever see some of that stuff?
He got the belts, and WCW tried to screw over the WWF by telling everybody, and it backfired massively.
Yeah, when they said, yeah, if you want to watch Mick Foley win the championship, go ahead and switch over.
And everybody did.
And then everybody did.
I remember switching over with my dad.
Ah, the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. When Vince McMahon was actually being pushed because he had competition. Now he just.
No, they still push Vince. They push Vince all the time. They push him down the throat the last 20 years.
All right, we're losing people here because they don't care. But they say
obscure 1987 RPGs. Let's go. Let's bring them back.
Begin.
They actually do say that Vince McMahon can't remember who won the matches the week before. So like he starts like booking the matches, and they're like, we can't have him when he won last week. And they're just like, or he's winning, or he continually loses. He's not getting over. He forgets. So it might be time. Which he's an icon.
I'm going to take over the XFL and drive that somewhere.
He said he's going to invest like $250 million of his own money or something like that into it.
See, I feel like that's such a knee jerk. Like all these, I don't want to single out a political party, but mostly Republicans are pissed off at the NFL, and I feel like that's the main reason why. It's like, we can strike while the air is hot, but that's going to take like 2 or 3 years to even get the damn thing up and running, and by then, I don't know. I hope it succeeds because I want it to push the NFL, but I just don't know about that. I remember how much of a shit show the original XFL turned into.
Well, it was just like they had those rules like, oh, you can't do a fair catch. Okay, well, I just won't catch the ball then. I'm not going to have my head handed to me. I'll just let the ball bounce. Then.
Do you remember the coin toss they had? Where they
would kill each other.
Have the two guys go after the ball and beat the hell out of each other?
One guy got hurt.
You're doing that.
Hey, the Steelers had a quarterback from the XFL for a bit.
Tommy Batch?
Tommy Maddox.
Tommy Maddox, that's right. Not Batch.
And he got hurt, and there came in Roethlisberger as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
He actually had a decent career before he got injured.
Who, Roethlisberger? Yeah, he did.
Oh, Tommy Maddox.
I know. I'm giving you the business a little bit here.
Save it for Gen Con, Lance.
No,
it's weird.
That's if anybody can catch you, Forrest. I remember last year. Hey, Forrest, how you doing? Hey, I got funded to go to Germany. See ya.
Yeah.
Take it easy, Forrest. It's great seeing you, bro. How are you?
I'm really hoping to make it to the hot games room though, so we can play games. That's one thing. Like every night, because I try and get videos up. Like I got 60 videos up at Gen Con last year. Like I try and just stay so busy, but I want to enjoy it a little bit more at the night.
Well, let's be fair. After it gets late at night, you're probably not going to remember where you're at. So,
hardy har. Go drink another beer, Lance.
I don't really drink that much anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, just getting old. I'll imbibe the occasional brew at a barbecue, but I still have friends that are like, let's go to the bar. I'm like, you are 45 and have 4 kids.
That's why you go to
the bar.
For this one day, I can capture my youth, even if it's only for 3 hours and a massive headache.
It's not that bad until they start talking about high school.
I talk about middle school. That's when I peaked.
Intellectually or physically?
Both.
Well, that 7th grade volleyball season was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got my letter in the mail for my what was it? My 30-year like the people that are trying to get the reunions together, and I'm just like, just give it up. Just like nobody. I don't know. I didn't
answer the first 29.
Yeah, I didn't care for you much back then, and I just
one of these days you will.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, my 30 years in 2021. I don't I haven't gone to any of the other ones. I doubt I'll go to that one too.
I went to my 20. That was like, because that was kind of neat. And then like some of the D bags that like I hated back in high school were like still in high school. Like they literally wore their Letterman jackets there.
No, nice.
I was just kind of like,
man.
Yeah.
That was the last jacket they could afford.
Just like, yeah, you aren't on a football team anymore. Just letting you know. But whatever. Glory days.
They'll pass you by, glory days.
Well, good for them, right? Good for them. Yeah, these Beastman runners are a real pain in the ass to put together.
Yes, they are.
Well, it's getting late. I got to go to work tomorrow, so I'm going to say goodnight to y'all, and I probably won't talk to you guys again until Gen Con, so I hope to see y'all there.
See you there.
I'll be looking for you, Jim.
Well, I hope to see you there too, Lance.
Well, my daughter will be with me, so say nice things when you're around me.
Oh, that's awesome. Do they have to be nice things about you?
You can say nice.
You can lie, Jim. It's okay.
No, I'll say some really sweet things, and she'll say, "Daddy, how much did you pay that man to say those things?"
I don't think she's ever called me daddy in her life. Just
Dad. My daughter will not call me that anymore. Apparently, somewhere it's taken on a bad connotation.
It is. It's like, it's like a. Yeah, there you go. We'll just leave it there. It's more of a
sex.
Once again,
let's not be bag here.
Let's leave it to the kindergarten teacher.
Yeah. Molding the future of our youth.
I got a lot of mistakes to teach them.
That's
easy, Jim.
Wait,
have
a
great week. Have fun playing in the castle. Bye-bye.
See you, brother.
Jim.
Okay, I got a question. Spitball in this. That tossed salad game I showed you. I feel like it's $20. I don't feel like that's terrible. That was my mark.
To toss your salad? Nah, that ain't bad.
I was like, if that was any more than 20, that was going to be bad. But I think for $20, it's not terrible, but it's still, I don't know. It's a weird game to review with components like that.
Is that like a game that's going to go to Kickstarter?
No, that's the company. Like they have 8 party games that they're releasing. They sent me 5 of them earlier this week. That's just all adult party games.
You need to find a game that's shaped like a bottle of dressing and make it a combo review.
Oh my god, that'd be great. That's a pretty tall order.
I'm gonna look on BGG, see if there's anything that's shaped like a bottle of dressing.
Ooh, Forbidden Sky is coming out of Gen Con. Yeah.
What's Forbidden
Sky?
The sequel to Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert. Kids in my class love Forbidden Island, so that'll be on my radar.
Well, there's no accounting for taste.
I tell you what, I've got these 2 girls in my class just terribly, utterly addicted to Dominion right now. They just.
I thought you were going to say cocaine.
No, these girls and I'm bringing in like an expansion every other day. I got like 5 boxes up there, and they're just like more.
Again, I thought you were talking about cocaine.
What were the other 5 games that he sends you? You got tossing salad. Is there Roman helmet?
Shit happens, friend or foe, true colors. I don't know. It's all the typical adult party stuff. I mean, it's and that's my niche. I mean, there's a lot of companies that send me that sort of stuff because a lot of reviewers won't even touch that stuff. And I mean, that's an excuse for me to go to hang out with my friends and drink beer. So, fine with me.
You need an excuse?
Yes, I got to be working.
Rob, what's your big plan for Gen Con?
Well, I'm probably going to be running all over the place like Forrest. I know that Miniature Market has a lot of meetings, and what they do is I'll get a thing that says booth 153. We need a video right now.
Nutra Market? What's that?
Miniature market?
Oh, miniature market.
Miniature
I thought you
market.
said Nutra market.
So what is your how are you connected with Miniature Market? I mean, just how do
They
you
just sponsor the channel. They've been very good to me. They liked all the videos we do, and out of the blue, I was offered a sponsorship, and I'll do the deals of the day. I give everybody a heads up on those. Any new products they send me, I do videos for. So it's been a great relationship.
Very cool.
And they take very, very, very good care of me. And I can't complain, especially a little channel like mine.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. I've gotten to know them real well, so it's become personal more than it has anything else.
This time it's personal.
It's personal.
Do you think that they are like? Do they feel like they're in direct competition with Cool Stuff? I mean, do they feel like they're?
They don't care about Cool Stuff, and it's
Really?
it's the honest truth. He doesn't care about Cool Stuff. Cool Stuff is more magic. They don't do miniatures. They have their thing, and Miniature Market has theirs, and they're growing. They're estimated to do almost 26 to 28 million this year.
I was like one of those things where, well, tell them to send my order. I ordered something like last week, and it's still sitting in like order.
Hold on, I'll take care of it right now.
Conversation was going.
Don't worry about that. I don't care. It'll get to me.
Now.
Yeah, it'll get to me when it gets to me. It's no big deal. I understand they just did a giant sale, so whenever they do one of those, everything slows down.
The warehouse hates it too. But that thing is, I was out in St. Louis in March. They flew me out there, and I did a massive paint class. I thought maybe we'd get 10 people. We had over 150 people. It was something. And I got to see the inner workings, and my God, it is like a machine. Everything is just so calculated.
But one person doesn't get the thing that they put on hold, and they put a giant complaint on the old on BGG. I paid for my Jigger 7 months ago. then when I told them to send it to me, it was no longer available. Because I waited 7 months until I had $99 worth of stuff so I could save $5 on shipping. You now owe me
life.
What is it? I want the moon with the slice of right the fuck now.
And a copy of Red Sun.
Yes. One copy of Red Sun with all Kickstarter exclusives. Immediately.
Because my one feeling was hurt.
Yes, I can't even imagine. I deal with some like customer service requests that kind of baffle me, but I can't even imagine the level of the number that they must deal with. And I can imagine that would just drive you crazy.
The woman, Melissa, there, she's like a saint. And when I sat down and talked to her, you could just tell, it was Friday afternoon, and she's just disheveled because she's just been bombarded with 900 phone calls about the most stupidest things.
Yeah, I always feel bad when I call and say, "Hey, can you just send my stuff?" Just like I'll if I put something on hold. I haven't put anything on hold there for a long time, but I always feel bad when I call because I always feel it's such a dumb thing. But they get it done, I guess. They say call and tell us, and then we'll send it.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the coolest thing too. Is like you actually call a number and somebody answers the phone. And then they can handle your issue or your problem or whatever. I think that's I think Cool Stuff you can call number 2, but I mean I don't think they make it as known or as.
It's a funny thing. The guy that owns Miniature Market, Steven, he's not a board gamer. So he's a strict businessman, and that's where a lot of the smart decisions are made. Is you don't have somebody that would geek out over something the way we would. It's just like, okay, this is a product. I estimate that we'll sell 50 of this product. Boom, there you go. You know, it's not, oh my God, you know, Zombicide's coming out. Yeah, Gloomhaven's coming out. We're going to need 2 million of these. And then
it has sold a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah. But then, you know, you're stuck with 150 of them, and they're in your family picture next year. You, the kid, the wife, and Gloomhaven.
Well, having 150 left out of 2 million is pretty good sales.
Gloomhaven's awesome.
Oh, it is. It's a great. I'm looking forward to the expansion. It comes out at Spiel, I think.
Oh, I need to get back to playing it again. Damn it.
Yeah, because like you didn't need more content for it. You had to need an expansion.
Yeah.
You need expansion because you may have played all 173 missions. And,
I tell you what,
bored.
Someone who's done it, they have all the props in the world because most people I know, they say, "Oh yeah, the game's amazing. I played through 6 missions." 6. Oh, 6.
Hold on, I gotta go see how many plays of Gloomhaven I have now.
Go ahead.
It's kind of
a lot, so I imagine out of my friend circle, you probably have the most plays.
I only have 27 plays.
That's it. I thought you had more than that, Keith.
I know. Considering I'll sit there and do 5 sessions at once, I already did one night. But
you did that on air, didn't you?
Yeah, I played like 3 on air. But I put it away so I wouldn't shoot through it, and then I get to where I'm like, oh, do I feel like getting something out? And I don't because I'm crotchety and stuff. But now I'm staring at it.
Let me say this about Gloomhaven. So, like, there's a group of guys that are my gaming group that they meet on like Tuesday nights, and that's my kids' Taekwondo nights. So I can't join them. And so then they decided they're going to do Gloomhaven, right? And so one night I like had I was able to I had to, like, one of the guys there was our fantasy football guy, so I had to go there and give him some cash. And I just walked in and I saw there was like 4 of them all playing Gloomhaven, and they were doing their mission or whatever. And I mean, I play Gloomhaven, so I know how you play the game and everything like that. But they were all just doing their thing and not saying a single word to each other. It was just weird. It was like they were sitting there and it's like, okay, I'll do this. Okay, so move there. Okay, good. And then like all of them just sat there staring at their cards for like another 10 minutes. It was like the least interactive, like purposeful. We're gonna get together and play this campaign every Tuesday for like 3 months I'd ever seen. And I'm not cutting on it. It might just be the way they were playing it, but I was just like, wow, you guys are really
having a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Well, I think any game would get like that if you're doing it constantly like that. You know, you get the group think and all that, and you know,
I don't know. It was just one of those weird things where it was like it just seemed like they were all just like, you know. And then we went, and then we killed that thing, and we moved forward. You know, what is your character's purpose? You know, just like, oh, you guys have fun. Please don't assimilate me. I need to get out of here. But yeah, more power to them. I'm sure and they all said they were having a blast. So, you know, what do I know?
Is there any way I can be the green player? Oh boy, I'm so excited.
What was that skit
I've tried
on
so
Saturday
many
Night Live
times.
where the 2 ladies were talking about books or something, and they talked
No. Here it is. Gee, tell us about your sweaty balls. They're delicious.
Sweaty ball.
Sweaty balls. Yes, it's a homemade. Alec Baldwin did it.
That was great. That's it. Exactly it.
Put them in your mouth. Put them in your mouth.
They're just dancing in my mouth. They're amazing.
Big and salty brown. If you ever need a quick pick me up, songs get stuck in my head. Thanks for that.
Chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth. I had that CD.
I did too. That's why I know the stupid ass song.
Yeah, I did.
You know what? I'm sorry. Rob. Yes. You know, one of the things I love about the the Blood Bowl minis is that how much action they look like they're in. Like, you know, as far as like, and this is gonna be tough to this is gonna be tough to see this guy, but like you see, like, you know, because you can, yeah, you can see, like, you know, of course it won't be in focus, but like it actually looks like they're running, you know,
Yes.
and they actually make it a point to like make them look like they're doing something.
Did you ever see the last season where they're just standing there like this?
No, it sounds awful.
But no, their models are the best. They really are.
So okay, and I'm gonna bore everybody a little bit. So what paints do you use when you paint? What do you use?
Tonight just got more interesting.
I use Vallejo and Citadel.
Okay.
I like Army Painter too. I just mix it up. It's whatever I feel like messing with. You know, it's kind of funny because I don't use a set brush, and I'll just grab it. It's just whatever I have that feel for that night.
Okay. So you're not like a Citadel Sucks or
no.
Do you think the paint pots the Citadel use are made to like fail, so you end up like
spilling it all over the place? Absolutely.
Absolutely. I was gonna say mostly so like you think you close them all the way, but you don't, and then they end up drying out on you.
Oh, of course. Let's get that extra $8 from you.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the one thing, and I'm actually, I don't know. I'm like, I like. Do you do any airbrushing or no?
Oh yes. I've been doing a lot. Of matter of fact, I just did a painting 101 on my airbrush, where I actually showed how you can change colors in midstream and stuff like that.
Rob, Kabuki Kid wants to know if you use a wet palette.
You know, I don't know what the big deal about a wet palette is. You know, people swear by it. You know, Pete, feel free to censor me at any time. I'll wait for my phone to buzz.
Getting my phone ready now.
Thank you. But it's funny, you know, you have board game elitists, but you have painting elitists, where people take time and go, oh, look what I can do. Instead of taking and trying to get kids or people to pick up a brush. So if you don't use a wet palette, if you don't use an army builder paintbrush or this, that, and the other, you're looked at like, you know, like you're missing 2 arms and a leg. And here it comes. I'm waiting for Pete to.
Yeah, I'm on
it.
But I always felt that the best thing that you can do is just teach somebody. Take the time. It's better to bring somebody into the hobby instead of being a big show off and an elitist.
Very well said. All right, next topic.
Oh wait, here it comes. Here it comes.
No, it's
Rob,
all good. I'm not texting
Rob,
you. You did fine. That was perfectly fine.
What is your malfunction?
That was perfectly fine. Kabuki, quit trying to be an instigator.
I mean, the whole point of a wet palette is that if you're blending paint or whatever, like you'll be able to save it that night, you know, and like come back to it. You don't have to worry about the paint drying out. You can come back to it at a later time.
And you know something? There's nothing wrong with a wet palette. I don't use one, but when I say I don't use one, people like lose their minds. It's like, oh my God, you don't use a wet palette? Well, because I usually sit there and I paint everything in one sitting. Oof.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I've done 10,680 miniatures this year so far.
Good Lord.
Got a lot of patrons. That's it. Hey, we woke Forrest up.
I
Sorry, brother.
One thing in my entire life, miniatures wise. I'd love to do it sometime, but it's just
time.
Well, you know something? We said we were going to try to get together and do something too, Forrest. We have to do that. I would love to just do something where we walk you through painting something. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to learn how to do it. It's just one of those things where, you know, I don't have the paint. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Here you go. Cross-promotional channel marketing here. Rob teaches Cameron how to paint live on YouTube.
Rob and Forrest run wild at Gen Con. Watch them paint Gen Con blue.
Did you just sneak in that camera in there, Pete?
Yeah, I did. You didn't even catch it until a second later. I saw you think about it, and you're like, huh?
So I will say this, Rob. I went to my local Warhammer store like last weekend, Saturday. Like I was just like, I told my son, he's 6, and he was like, he wanted to paint up his army. He's making a Khorne army, and like I put together a demon prince for him to paint. You know, paint him up Khorne red, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. You know, he just loves Satan. You know, he's 6 and screaming that at the top of his lungs. And so I went there, and I'll say this: it was one of those things where it was like, okay, you know, I've taught him how to paint, and I primed it for him, and I was like, you're gonna need Khorne red, you're gonna need Abaddon black, and you're gonna need lead belcher. These are it's like for the weapon, for the horns, and and I just said, just go, you know, and I watched him paint this model that I spent some time putting together. And it was like there were so many times that I wanted to correct him. I was just like, no, just let him do it. Just let him experience it, and let him put it together. You know. And there's a couple times he asked me, it's like, well, what should I do? And I was like, well, you should probably
Night, Keith.
Do that thing.
Hi, Keith.
Keith.
Good night, Keith.
But that was and he learned more just by diving in. At that moment than I could have ever taught him holding his hand.
One of my favorite videos I ever did was my grandson came down to Florida here, and I took one of those Arcadia Quest dragons, the Chaos Dragon. They're pretty big, and we went live, and I let him paint live on screen, and he just did. He's only 3, so he's just looking at me, Grandpa, can I paint? Yeah, go ahead. But it was just. It was just something I'll never forget. And I watch that over, every once in a while. And it's just, just seeing a small kid pick up a brush and just have fun. Just go at it.
Yep. And then you threw it in the simple green after he left and fixed it.
No. That's Grandpa's pride and joy there.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you the business.
I love the fact my son wants to review with me. Like he begs me. Like whenever he'll play a new game with me, I'll be like, can I review? Can I review it with you? It's like, yes.
Well, cool. I'll say this. That's fun until you get the one creepy comment.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it's Kevin.
Don't let him do shirtless reviews.
He's only done one.
I let my daughter do it until I got the one creepy comment, and then I was just like, nope, no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks, and I can't even imagine how many Tom got with his. But
So if someone posts a creepy review about you on your videos, you'll stop reviewing.
Everybody's funny.
Has somebody posted a creepy review then?
No, like I said, I don't usually get upset about things. It's just like you can say I'm fat, or you can say I'm a sellout, or you can say whatever. You can say I'm a shill. That's fine. Whatever. I'll move on.
Or all of the above.
Yeah. Whatever.
Fat shilly sellout.
Fat shilly mouth breathing sellout.
I usually just tell them. I just tell them what cons I'm going to be at, and if they want to say it to me, we can fight. We can do it old school.
But when the guy, and I'm kind of a pacifist. I don't believe in violence, and
no, either do I.
But I know I'm not calling you out. But when this one person, and they might have just been, what can I say that's gonna make this guy mad? And then he said something about my 8-year-old daughter that was that he would go to prison for if he did. I was like, if I could find you, I would put you in the ground. I would just, they would just go time. So, and that's what I was just like, maybe I shouldn't be putting you out there on the internet for everybody to see, just for my sanity and for your protection. So,
well, I had somebody do that to my daughter. She was on camera with me, and somebody said something, and I was like, oh man, gotta love the internet. They're so brave behind the keyboard.
Barry?
Yes.
Were you scratching your knee with your laptop?
No, I was trying to adjust my legs, and I didn't want to get the camera cord caught up.
I couldn't
No,
tell what you were doing over there, but
he
it
was-
was
he
looking
was-
quite interesting.
Leave
He
him
was
alone.
scratching.
Hey,
He was scratching his balls.
Oh, that's what it looked like.
Yes.
Let's get it on.
You do know it's only from the waist up on these things, right?
So Barry, not that it's any of our business, but why is it 44 days? Is like she moving somewhere else? Is she?
The cunt is going.
Hey! First of all, come on, dude. Good
After
language.
midnight.
Good night, Rob.
House, life, and wife back.
All right, Rob. I appreciate you being up late and everything like that.
Oh, no problem. I'll be here next week, and we'll bring more people in.
Oh,
Maybe,
no,
we'll,
that's
maybe we'll hit
super
the 50s.
Well, no, we got to go small. 33
let's-
people.
Let's not talk crazy.
This channel's a
yeah,
slow
we have
grow.
to watch our mouths if we got 50 viewers.
Yeah, we might actually have to tape Barry's mouth shut.
You know there's no filter with me.
Or me. All right, guys. Take it easy.
Take care, Rob. I really appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you, brother.
No, I mean, why is she moving home, or is she like, did you work out a different living arrangement for her? Or?
She's moving.
He sold her off to an Arab
I think
prince.
it was. Yeah,
what did you say, buddy?
she's moving to North Carolina. I think it was Tennessee or North Carolina. I don't remember which one she finalized on.
He doesn't care as long as it's not in.
As long as it's not in Delaware.
Well, I mean, I hopefully she's happy wherever she ends up, right?
I hope so, because she's staying there.
Oh man.
We already discussed this.
So your wife, I mean, is she like, does she know that you feel this way? I mean, obviously.
Oh yeah, she knows.
So, like-
there's not many secrets between me and Jen. Yeah.
So, I mean, does she appreciate the fact that you've put up with it for as long as you have? Or, I mean,
Yeah, she has. She's not quite where I'm at with it, but she's close. Yeah.
yeah.
You can't have two queens in one castle.
Well, you're a good guy for helping your mother-in-law out for as long as you did. And you should be happy that you were able to help a family member out.
Yeah, what you said. She's just gone. That's all I care about. Bye. Now she's just holding me up. I want to do some stuff in the house, and like Jen won't let me do it until she leaves. Yeah.
Like what? A burial plot in the backyard, or?
There was one, but she made me fill it. Nah, my shop's almost done. I don't want to start making kitchen cabinets, remodeling the kitchen, and the deck needs to be redone badly and stuff like that. Yeah. New windows in the house.
All right, cool. What else? I mean, is anybody else? I mean, anything else? I mean, it seems like our lives are just kind of, I'm just wondering if anything new's going on. The big thing.
Shark Week's next week.
Well, yeah, there's Shark Week. I guess you got that going on.
And then the Meg the week after that.
And then right into Gen Con.
Yeah, well, no, actually, Meg is the week after Gen Con. So it's Shark Week, Gen Con, then the Meg. It's a good 3 weeks for me.
Everything's coming up, Pete.
Yep. That's right. The color of Pete.
Have you ever had that like a period of your life, whether it was like a month or 2 or 3 months or something like that, where it just like everything just seemed to be coming up you for some reason?
Yes.
Yep.
It was
I was 8 years old.
January, February, and March of 2003. The world could not be any better aligned for me than those 3 months.
Go on, explain.
So, the Buccaneers won their first Super Bowl title in the early February.
Brad Johnson, baby.
That's right. And I had got promoted from at my job, so I had a significant pay bump because I'd hit a certain amount of time where I hit max pay at UPS, was making really good bank, bought my first house, and met my wife in those 3 months. It was quite the roller coaster.
So mine, I mean, it just like, yeah, this is gonna sound awful because like it's got nothing. It's way back in the past. It isn't to say I just like, it's not that really amazing things haven't happened to me since then, and just like, obviously like my kids and my wife and everything are amazing. But there was a summer. Oh man, I'm trying to remember when this was. It was in my early 20s. There was this summer where like I was in danger of having to move back in with my parents because I didn't have I had lived somewhere, then my roommate like moved and went somewhere else, and so I was just kind of like, oh well, this sucks. I got to find a roommate. It was one of those things where you didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. So I was like, because I couldn't find an apartment that I could afford. And I remember I was searching through the want ads at I was even being desperate of looking at the roommate wanted part of the like wondering if that was going to be better than like living at home with my parents. And at the pizza place I was looking at, and a buddy of mine that I'd known that I totally met in this completely weird chance meeting, like which is another crazy story. But anyway, this guy that I met, super nice person, became one of my really, really good friends in my life. Like he walked in because he knew I worked there, and he just came in to hang out and have some pizza and talk to me. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I can't find a place to live. And he was just like, get out of here, cat. Leave me alone. What are you doing?
Is that what he said?
No, this cat just came out of nowhere and leaped into my lap. So, no, this. Oh my God, cat! You are so annoying. I don't like you at all. Go find my daughter. Go, get out of here.
That's not very nice.
Well,
cat has feelings,
She's the worst. Cat's the absolute worst. No, so anyway, so he's like, oh, actually, I bought a house, he said, and the guy who was living in my basement had to move out because he knocked up his girlfriend. He's getting married. And he's like, and he's like, I was like, how much is rent? And he was just like, oh, well, don't you want to look at it first? I was like, how much? I don't care. How much is rent? And he was like, oh, it's like, $200 a month or so. I was like, done. And I had sight unseen. So then I found a place to live. What I didn't realize with this place where I was going to go live was like 2 blocks north of the bar that I always would go and drink at. So I was able to, this is like right at the beginning of summer. So I was able to like walk to the bar and walk home. I didn't have to worry about driving or anything like that. Then what also happened was this guy, he was narcoleptic. And so he had one of those like Darth Vader machines that he slept with. And so he wouldn't hear like loud noises or parties going on. So I'd have after bar parties at this guy's basement. And we just all like partied up, and he would never like really hear or care or anything like that. And that was a summer where, no lie, I had like 4 girlfriends at the same time, and none of them knew that the others existed. And I somehow never got caught. And that was like my summer. It was summer of just like glorious drunken debauchery. And I often think about that summer. Just like that was a good summer. And then I got a girl.
Sounds a bit fishy.
No, it was real. It was. I still can't believe it actually happened.
Put your head up to enjoy the joke, Lance.
Oh.
Mine was around the summertime of 2007. I was working in a factory at the time, living with my ex-girlfriend, and it was a terribly amazing relationship. It was one of those relationships just built on sex. We were into a lot of bad stuff, and I got laid off. And so I wrote unemployment for like 8 months. I broke up with my girlfriend, and over that time span, I got back in school and started to go back to school and kicked a lot of hard stuff that I was on back then, and started volunteering at a place I still volunteer today, and eventually graduated. And I also, I had a lot of lady friends, which was awesome too. But completely changed my life getting out of the factory.
What did you build in the factory? I gotta know.
Well, it's technically something I'm not supposed to divulge, but it was a CPI card group, and we made credit cards. But don't tell anybody I said that.
Why is that secret? That's. What's it's like I work at a bank.
It was top secret stuff. Yeah, but I was a laminator extraordinaire. I would laminate credit cards, and then I would learn how to die cut them, and I was very good at it. It was so good that I could get it done pretty fast, and then just probably about 30 to 40% of my night was just sitting there watching TV shows on my my iPod. Soul-sucking job, though, but good money.
So it challenged you, is what you're trying to tell me.
Well, part of the reason was I was able to afford a lot of stuff that I should not have been doing because I worked in a factory. And then when I went to unemployment, I had to kind of wane myself off a lot of the terrible choices I was making. So I stuck with other things that I enjoyed.
Magic the Gathering cards, right?
Yes, I went from Magic to Dominion. That was the big change.
Yeah, no longer did you need to buy the packs anymore. You just you had everything right there. You just get every expansion as it comes out. Remember when they came out with that one expansion for Dominion? They said it was going to be the last one.
Yes.
And
then they came out with like 3 more.
I think it was the pink one, right? Or was it Guilds? I don't remember which one it was. They're all good, except for Alchemy. Alchemy sucks.
The Sharks having a nervous breakdown over there.
Yeah,
is
the
that
floor
Shark
recognizes
over there.
Andy Graham.
The floor recognizes the shark.
He's gone.
I hate models that just don't want to stick together. God dang fucking thing.
Okay, use like salt or super glue or something.
Did you say salt?
Or powder? Yeah, carpentry. I use a lot of salt for glue and shit. But I'm at baking soda.
Yeah, there's the bicarbonate trick that you can do. I'm not, but see, like it's the stuff about these is that it's just like it's figuring out the little spot that it's supposed to be in, right? It's like so like the things catch, and because you don't want it to stick together and be like wrong or whatever. So these things just drive me crazy. And and like sometimes they go together really well, and sometimes they don't go together really well. Sometimes like you look at it like 8 times over, and you're like, so that's how it's supposed to stick, and then you're like, leave it, and then you look at it again, you're like, no, that's not right either. I think this is right now.
Always about you, Lance.
Yeah, shut up. Well, no, and then the worst thing is that sometimes like you've moved the glue so many times that now it's like there's nothing left for it to stick to. So like you actually do figure out the spot that it's supposed to be in, but then like there's nothing that it won't stick.
Melt it, yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta actually like remove it and then try again, which I just detest. Because your fingers are all sticking together, and you're just I don't know. First world problems, right?
Pretty much.
My Games Workshop Beastman model won't stick together. while somebody right now is being chased by a machete.
Yeah.
Just like
go to Syria, see what they think of that.
I bet there's miniature games model enthusiasts there. Probably mad that they.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I often wonder about that. Just board game enthusiasts. How commonplace are they in other locations of the world? I mean, obviously, some of the more in-depth stuff, it's probably tough for people to get a hold of it. But I mean, there's got to be some board games that exist out there, whether even if it's just a pack of Uno cards or something.
Well, there's a guy that posts a lot on and I'm friends with him, on the board game reviewer and media thing, and he's pretty much the only board game maker in Africa, at least from what I hear from him, or one of the only one in his area in Africa. And the games all look like pretty like 1980s mass market style games, but he's trying to make he had a convention he's run 2 years straight. Pretty interesting stuff. He was talking about doing some reviews for getting review games out one time, and I was actually considering doing some just to see what it was like. But yeah, I know some countries, I mean, they literally don't have much more than decks of cards and Uno and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, there you go. You just answered my question. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, we're very fortunate to have access to the stuff that we do, and be able to play the stuff that we do. I don't know. Is it like everybody else says that you've been to Essen, and then is the board game is it as ubiquitous as people say, Forrest?
That's too large of a word, Lance. What's ubiquitous mean again?
Is it's
gotta be smart of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
The fact that are board games everywhere, in they say.
Yes. Oh yeah. I went to some just some toy stores and game stores, and it was just oh my god! It's like they do not mess around. It was really cool.
Oh, there you go.
From what I heard, it's not like they're collectors like over here. They're they buy 26 games for the year or whatever, and then they're done.
You mean they actually play their games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't.
Suckers.
They don't play one twice and move on like we do here. Yeah.
Hey, that's the thing that probably drives me the most crazy is the fact that how many games I have that I've never played. I just feel I feel kind of dumb. Just
Oh yeah, I get that all the time. I don't remember, but I bought for $20 earlier last year, 1,000 games from that guy. Just old school stuff. It's I probably have 1,000 games that I've never played. Maybe 500 more realistic, but it's nuts.
Well, no, and you just feel dumb, right? It's why do I own these?
See, I'm still at the point where I'm going to review every game that I have. So I still keep that dream alive. So it's all right, I don't feel dumb yet, but the second I give up on that dream, I'm going to feel dumb.
I never got into that. The max with me was 20, I think.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That was the absolute max with expansions and shit like that. But now there's probably 10 or so. But I haven't played a game in about 6 months.
My wife gave me our basement, our entire basement, to be where my gaming area, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shelves full of games, and then boxes everywhere, all over the floor of games, and a whole table behind me filled with games. It's ridiculous.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I won't get like that. Eventually, like I said, when she gets out of here, this is going to become my game room. And I probably will start the channel back up. I just can't do it right now. I did 2 videos, and the audio quality sucked because I was doing the other room and there's a freezer. And I just don't have a place that's quiet enough to do it right now. But I committed myself to 6 shows. And that's as far as it's going.
Feel it out. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm more into the miniature stuff now than anything, and like the other stuff's just kind of getting.
Well, you pretty
forgotten.
much do exclusively Kickstarter stuff now, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do RPG reviews just because I'll get a wild hair at my butt and I'll just say, hey, I'll go talk about this RPG for a while. But it's pretty exclusively exactly that. I don't have time. I mean, it's like if I wasn't contracting out work, I would probably still do normal reviews, but I don't have time. It's just who's the time for all this crap? You know, I mean, it's just like once your kids get old and until they're out of the house, you know, it's like my life is my job, and
when she hits 16, she's gone. You know,
well, I mean, I understand, like, you know, like she.
There's the other one.
Yeah,
they're gone. They want nothing to do with you.
Well, I'm fortunate that I play a lot of the games at work. Like, I got 2 game nights, but I play a huge chunk of the games that I review at my work with my kids because I'm training these kids and slowly scaffolding them and getting them to play more and more complex games. Like we played Pioneer Days. I played Pioneer Days with these 11-year-old girls in my class. They went nuts.
What did you think of the Pioneer Days?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I'm hoping to get a review up before Gen Con, but yeah, that's
that's going over pretty well for us. We've already pulled the trigger on the next print run. So
Hails to the yeah. I mean, honestly, I'd probably give it a Buyer's Best seal if it was 5 players. That's like the only thing I have is the 2 to 4 player count. But man, I love the hell out of that game. That's up there with Orleans for me. Those are probably my 2 favorite TMG games.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
But the only thing that I can ding it on is the 2 to 4 players, which I don't.
No, what was the other game though?
Orleans.
I'm sorry, what?
Orleans.
Geez,
Orleans. I don't give a care.
Orleans.
Orleans.
That and Jab. That was the third.
That
one.
and Jab. Best game ever. Jab. Bill copies of Jab. That was probably the most signature funny thing that my boss ever did was just Anthony just hammering away. Where's my copy of whatever game it was? I think it might have been Yokohama or something like that, and then Michael just stepping in. You know what, Lance? I'll take care of it, and I'll send one to you. And he's like, "Thank you. Here's my address." Sends him 3 copies of Jab. Oh, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall when he opened it. But there you go. So this is a cool thing. When I was young, I would go over. My parents got divorced. I was young. That wasn't cool, but whatever. They're both much happier now. So anyway, who cares? When I was young, I would go to my dad's on the weekends, and he would watch old Star Trek original series reruns. He just loved that show. And I remember as a kid, he would say, and I was always excited to watch it because I thought it was super cool. And he would always tell me, "Oh, I've seen this one," and I was just like, "How? What? You know?" Because the idea of the fact that it was in syndication, and I was a kid, I didn't think anything on TV was new. You know, I just, so I was sitting there, and he would say, "Oh yeah, I've seen this one," and I was like, "What do you mean you've seen this one?" He's like, "I've seen every episode of Star Trek," and I'd just be like, that just blew my mind. Because, I mean, as a kid, you were just like, they're always creating more stuff, right? Just like, so they never run out of episodes. They're just always new stuff, right? And I was like, how did you see every episode? That doesn't make any sense. And then, like, so, he's like, oh, because it's been on forever. I keep watching it over and over again. And this is before, obviously, Netflix and everything else that we have now that allow us to, binge watch. And we get to watch every episode of whatever show we're going to watch. So I turned on, for background noise one day, I turned on Star Trek Next Generation, a show that I watched on TV, and I watched every single episode of Star Trek Next Generation. And I really liked Star Trek Next Generation. So my daughter starts watching it, and she's just like, "How many seasons are this?" And I think there's like 7 or 8, you know. And then there was Deep Space Nine, and I was kind of going through it all. And I was like, I watched every single episode of this when it was on TV. And my daughter was like, "No way! How did you do that?" You know. And I was like, it like bridged the gap. Star Trek. It bridged the gap between you know, like 3 generations.
Well, like you said, today's different. There was only 5 channels back then. You know.
More like, I'm trying to think.
There was the major 3, PBS, then Fox.
Then Fox eventually showed up. Yeah,
Paramount.
so we got 5.
Yeah, those are my 5 growing up.
Yeah. Well,
and then, no, Star Trek wasn't on Fox, was it? It was on.
No, I'm sure. I think
Paramount had a channel. I don't remember what it was now. Before it was a WB.
Paramount had a channel?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Paramount. Yeah. I don't remember Star Trek being on like ABC or NBC or any of them.
I thought it was a Fox.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering because I used to watch The Final Frontier with my mom.
Yeah, I thought it was on Fox, and I think that when it came on, it was 1989. I think was when Star Trek Next Generation started up.
87.
87, really?
Yeah.
No.
I can almost guarantee it.
Well, by then we had cable, so I don't know what it was on, but it was on cable at that point for me anyway. Because we got cable
to 1994.
Okay, because we got cable when I was like in 6th grade or 7th grade, so that would put me in 1984 or 5.
Yeah, it was 87 to 94.
Good show, really good show.
Yeah,
I really liked that. I just recently watched the episode where Worf has to go back because they say his father was a traitor, and he went back to stand trial for his father, who was dead. And it turned out it was actually the guy who was accusing him was his father that did it, but he was a very powerful person with lots of people that, like, his family had a lot of people in it and whatever, and so that if they blamed his father for being traitor, then it would cause Klingon civil war. And so for the better of the Klingons, Worf agreed to allow himself to be like stripped of his Klingon heritage and leave Klingon life behind. You know, that was a good episode. And he finds out that he had a younger brother who shows up again 2 more times. And Picard goes back, and he is he becomes his Chadish, his second, you know, for the trial. Yeah, that was a good episode. And you only had to deal with the doctor that just always gave Data a hard time for 1 season, the 2nd season, and then you brought Beverly back the next one.
Yeah. The blonde chick. What was her name?
Yeah, that old bag.
Yeah.
just constantly wanted to like give Data a hard time because he wasn't human. You know, she was just such a. Yeah, I was glad when they booted her off.
Does anybody know how the new one's going? What is it, Discovery or?
I have no idea. It got renewed? Well, there's that then. I never watched a single episode of the one with Scott Bakula, the Star Trek Enterprise or whatever. Like the very first Enterprise was what it was about or whatever. I never watched any of those.
I watched a couple, and then it just, I don't know, it just got weird.
The only thing one of my friends ever said about it, was that there was a Vulcan woman that was hot That was the only thing anybody ever told me about it.
That's all you needed to know, man.
I was like, which is weird because Quantum Leap was one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I like Scott Bakula as the actor in Quantum Leap. You know, which made it weird that I didn't watch any of Star Trek there. I liked Deep Space Nine too. I liked it.
I think by the time Enterprise came out, there was just too much of it. I think Deep Space Nine Voyager was still in the air, right? And then Enterprise.
Well, and then Voyager didn't keep my interest very long. I thought Voyager had a cool premise that they had gone through the weird warp or whatever, and they had ended up even at maximum warp, it was going to take them 100 years to get home. Yeah. So they couldn't get back, so they had to. It was some weird premise that was going on. I don't know. I just, like I said, I think Deep Space Nine carried over into Voyager, and I was really enjoying Deep Space Nine. And I thought it was cool how they, I was like, how are you going to make one episode all about or one show all about a
space station,
starbase, or whatever. But then they found the weird stable wormhole that would take it all the way to the Gamma Quadrant. So so there was all these weird alien races showing up running through there. So, I don't know. Good stuff. Star Trek's good. I'm a big believer you can like both Star Trek and Star Wars, which I think most people are so.
Apparently you can't. You don't like the last Star Wars.
Well, the last Star Wars is a pile of shit. and we all know it.
It is. I just rewatched it to make sure it was.
Yeah, I saw it's on Netflix now. I can stream it anytime I want, and it's still a pile. It's a pile of crap, and there's no chance I'm going to watch it. So I'm not going to subject myself to it again. I saw it twice. I went the second time because I said, you know what? I went to it once by myself, and I went to it with my buddy, and my buddy was like, "Well, that was a pile of crap," and I was like, "Yeah, same." And then I was like, my daughter wanted to see it, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to it again. And even she, at 10 years old, was like, that wasn't good. I was like, I know.
Did anybody see Solo?
I did.
How was it?
It was better than Last Jedi. But then again, that's not. No, I thought it was a good movie. I think they did very right by the hero that is Solo, in my opinion. I think they treated the Solo they treated him well.
I will say I'm really disappointed that they're discontinuing all the spin-off ones because I was really excited for where they were going in that next movie.
They're not. They're just taking a step back with it. LucasArts decided.
Solo had a very, very cool ending, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it got it was one of the, I was like, oh my god! I flipped out the movie theater and I was super excited, and then to find out that they're probably not going to follow up on it kind of sucks.
No, in that one particular, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I heard LucasArts. At first, they said they're not doing any more the spin-offs or whatever. But then a couple days later, they said they are just rethinking it. But
they had a sequel planned. I mean, for this one, they did a big reveal at the end, and there's without a doubt they were planning on a sequel, and I doubt it's going to happen.
You can't really, they made 2 movies there essentially, or 3, with all the retakes and all that. So financially, they didn't do as well as they thought they would. And I think a lot of people were still butthurt over The Last Jedi.
Well, I don't like the terminology butthurt, but I do like the terminology of
ass hurt.
A disgusting pile of crap that was a movie. But that's my opinion anyway. So,
did you like that twist at the end, though, Lance?
Yeah, but I mean, but it was kind of okay. So, where are you going to go with this? That was like kind of like the. So are you going to like if they're planning on doing a Lando movie? I mean, how are they going to do a sequel to the Solo movie? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't drop what they drop without going there, because I mean that.
All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to say spoilers if you haven't seen Solo yet. Big spoiler.
You know, it doesn't ruin the movie, but it's really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't ruin the movie at all. But basically, like that the Han Solo can't get back together with his lady friend because obviously he knocks boots with Leia and they have a kid. So but he's got this girl that he's chasing, and then so the end happens, and like she tells him that she will meet up with him, but then she isn't going to meet up with him because she's part of this weird giant secret society, and it's like this evil group. And she tried to sell him on the idea that she was like enslaved to it and she didn't want to be a part of it, but actually she was and she is. And when her boss gets killed by her and Han, then she takes over the secret society, and then she contacts her secret whatever, and her secret person is Darth Maul. Yeah, Darth Maul. Darth Maul is so. All right, so here's the idea. So Solo takes place. Get out of here, yeah. Solo takes place when Han is presumably like 20, right? I'm guessing, early 20s.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Somewhere between 20 and 24, I'm going to say. So he's 20, between 20 and 24, and this cat is literally driving me crazy. 20 or 24. So that puts this well past the prequels timeline. So what that means is that because we're going past the prequels, that means that the fact that Darth Maul is still alive, even though he got cut in half,
he survived.
Well, yeah, but so the thing is that so the Clone Wars thing where they brought Darth Maul back and they gave him a robotic body is canon. Which, whatever, fine, I don't care. But first of all, this is something that bugged me about that. I know because I've watched the Clone Wars. I've watched that those movies. I've watched those videos with my son, and they liked it. And we dug it. And so we saw Darth Maul come back. So, okay, fine, there's Darth Maul. But if you haven't seen those and they throw Darth Maul at you now, you're going to be like, what the hell? How is this guy rolling around and up and mobile? So it's like, yeah, okay, fine. You can just say, oh, he's alive, and just give him that, and that's your thing. But it's also like, how is this even possible? And it's got to throw a lot of people for a loop as far as like kind of not making any sense whatsoever.
Don't care. Darth Maul, double lightsaber. That's all I want. Double lightsaber.
Double lightsaber in the sky. Yeah, so I mean, whatever. I mean, it was a cool ending. Hopefully they do a sequel because they have to kind of go back. The best part of that movie, in my opinion, was the relationship between him and Bennett, Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah.
And that was the best. That was the best part of the entire movie.
Woody was really good in that.
Yeah, he was. He was very, very good in that role that he did. And also, I'm not going to say anything because you haven't seen it. This is a good, but I mean, the interactions they have throughout the entire movie, and especially at the end, I mean, it really cements Han Solo as Han Solo, and I'll just leave it at that. I was very pleased with how that whole relationship worked out. And I'll let that stand out there because I thought it was very, very well done. They did a good job with it. That's one of the problems with the prequels, though. I mean, it's tough to oh, hey, here's all these new people. Why haven't we seen any of these people in any of the other movies? Here's all these people. Just like you're not answering my question. But there you go. What is that noise?
It's probably my air conditioner.
Oh, all right. Well, it's midnight here. Has anybody else got anything? But next week is the big is the extravaganza. So make sure you stare at that Gen Con preview list and figure out which games you want to buy.
None.
Yeah. I'm gonna have so many review copies. I would imagine I'm probably not gonna buy anything unless it's for my kids.
The only thing I envision purchasing is miniatures and role-playing game books. That's the only thing I envision purchasing. Because sometimes those little tiny booths with RPGs, like that's the only time you'll ever be able to track that stuff down.
I don't even know what the board game scene is like now. Is it, like I said, I haven't played a game in 6 months. I haven't been to the Vault meetup in a while either. The ride kills me sometimes. So is it like it was, where it's just a bunch of shit and then 1 or 2 gems in it, or?
Well, that's a good question.
I think that I think I've got about 10 games that are releasing at Gen Con or Origins that I've reviewed, and all of them, for the most part, I would say are good to great. Like, it's just consistently, there's so many games that are good that it's becoming the new norm that good is kind of like the new mediocre, at least for me personally. Like, a lot of these games are good, but it's still just, I need great now. I think there's just so many people making stuff that less and less crap is getting through. I mean, there's a couple turds here and there, especially when it comes to Kickstarter stuff, but from the publishers, I mean, most of the stuff that I've played, I'm like, this is good. This is great. Somewhere in between there.
So here's the deal, and I actually, this is something we can put in our pocket and we can talk about like next week or something like that. But here's my problem is that but everything is so forgettable. It's just it's like, oh, it's like I played like Santa Maria, like that came out last year. And I was like, this is cool. It's like you're rolling dice, you're making choices, you're building up your little map here, you're scoring your map. I was having fun playing Santa Maria. After I played it twice, I was done. I was like, well, that was cool. It was a fun game, but then I was done. It's like everything is just disposable now. Like nothing hits me like it used to. And maybe that's just because I played too many games. But I mean, nothing just beats me over the head like, oh my God, I need to play this like 20 times. Like I remember feeling that way about no, what was that Aztec game with the blue skulls?
Oh, the Rondell?
With weird Rondell, the dials that move. When
I'm drawing a blank. Shoot.
I know.
Yeah, I think most people would know. It's just I'm drawing a blank on the name.
Zolkin.
Yeah, Zolkin.
I got us there. But anyway, so I remember when I played Zolkin, that was a game that just blew me away. I was like, this is so cool. And I remember I played that game 10 times in a week. I was just so jazzed for that game to play. And I haven't played it in probably 2 years. But I still think about the game and I'm like, God, that game was awesome.
So do you think it's
so much fun playing that?
Do you think it's you can just see the strategy in games now, or there's nothing innovative anymore?
I don't really think anything's innovative anymore. I mean,
well, Lance, have you played The Mind?
Yeah, I mean it's fun, but it's all about. I mean, but that's just people. I mean, that's not really mechanisms, right? I mean, it's just kind of like. I mean, here's the deal. So it's like when you're dealing with other people and what they're thinking, what they're doing, what their actions are, and where they have, they have a few things that govern what you do, But for the most part, the people have kind of free range as far as their ability to act upon the information that they have. That like opens up games to like signature moments. That's why games like Werewolf still get played constantly, because it's because it's people, and people have a myriad of different possibilities that are gonna like you know add to the situation. That's why games like poker. Why I love playing poker more than anything else. I mean, well, I love playing Dungeons and Dragons more than anything else. But I mean, if I'm going to be playing a game, I love playing for poker. I love playing poker. I love, even if it's like I'm playing for $5. It's just fun. It's just fun to sit there and read the other people, figure out, make it just that's a fun game to me, just because it's exciting. But like, okay, so you're like, oh, here's Russian Railroads. Okay, Russian Railroads is fantastic. It's a great game. It's cool. You have a little engine there you're building. You're doing all these fun things, all these different railroad tracks. But after I played that game like 4 or 5 times, I was like, well, this is over. Moving on. And that's what games are. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I still like those 4 or 5 plays that I get, but it just seems to be gone now for me. Like, I haven't had the only games that are really like I want to play over and over are like the really, really heavy games, but nobody wants to play them. Right? It's just like they just can't. Oh, it's like, because everybody wants to play the 45-minute to an hour long Euro. That's what they want to play. They would, and that's like an age old. I feel like I'm on my lawn yelling at clouds right now, but I mean that's what people want to play now. I mean, that's just, they don't want to play anything that's like super in depth, and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. It's like, I get it too. I understand. Oh, I'm going to go to a convention and I can play one game for 6 hours, or I can play 6 to 8 games in that same amount of time. I get it. I get why you want to do the one besides the other. I don't know. Maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I'm just
a curmudgeon.
Well, I wouldn't say curmudgeon, but I would just say maybe I'm just like I'm the odd man out. I'm just not on the same path that other people are on.
Well, I'm actually surprised. Like, I know for a few years the hobby's been growing, the gateway games and the medium weight games are getting very popular. But I'm surprised there's not more heavy games out now, because those people, I assume, would eventually want to play something deeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not, though.
Design too, though. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, you can churn out a whole bunch of. I mean, if you gave me a couple weeks, I could come up with a lightweight game. Press your luck game, worker placement game. But if you really start talking about a 180-minute, 240-minute style game like that, I mean, that's a lot more to put in there.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that, I was just going through that list as we were talking, and I was just disappointed that there wasn't anything really meaty that really turned me on. I mean, the last one that I really saw that was a nice chunky game was a superhero game from, I think it was Eagle Griffin. But, yeah. I wish there were more of them.
Yeah, but they don't really exist. It's just not. It's not out there. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. People are going to play what they're going to play, so on and so forth. Same old. So next week, it's the big thing. Maybe same fun time, same fun channel, all that and more. Anybody else got any parting words of wisdom?
Nope.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Take it easy.